Bloke in a bar.
Not a big numbers guy.
No, not a big numbers.
Didn't finish school.
No, you didn't. We knew that.
I was actually in advanced maths.
Were you really?
Yep.
Okay. Didn't go on to...
Sure.
I was in advanced maths.
But just before you dropped out.
Excuse me, I didn't drop out, and I don't appreciate being stereotyped.
You said you did. I just assumed, dude. I'm not stereotyping.
Is school even worth it these days?
No.
No,
It's a
waste
complete
of time, dude.
Do you reckon just never go?
I reckon, what's the point, mate?
The problem is that you just like the way that things are set up is that you need to have gone to be able to be given a look in anywhere. Now, you know, is that good? No, but it's just the reality.
the biggest waste of time of all time is university. That's a fact.
Yeah,
unless you're fucking trying to be a doctor or a
I think
lawyer or
school's
some
good for
shit.
social shit as well, like just learning how to behave maybe.
Like, what do we like? Well, obviously the podcast started when we were at Bathurst,
When I was at
which is a good
university-
thing.
No, it's great. But at university,
But
they were
in terms of like lessons,
they
and
were
shit?
talking about the future of audio media being digital radio.
Yeah.
And that was what we were learning. And that was like, you know,
digital radio.
Like every
is
house
going
is going to have a digital radio, and every car is going to have a digital radio, and you're going to be able to see what song's playing on it. And it was like, ooh.
You know what's crazy is like
and podcast just went.
whatever, you know, like common sense or like general wisdom is usually not what you should follow. Like if everyone is saying X is going to happen, like when it comes to digital radio or whatever, 3D movies, it's like it probably won't happen because if it did, they would all be rich.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it was going to happen, they'd all put shares in it and boom, it'd just be there. But like conventional wisdom is usually, you know, if you want to do something conventional, do it. If you want to change shit, don't take conventional wisdom.
Change it up, bro.
You got to change
the game.
Do you reckon big uni change the game?
Big uni don't want you to know that.
No,
though.
big uni don't want you to know
Big
that.
uni
You can
don't
change
want you
the
to
game
know that
yourself.
getting a double degree in advertising and marketing, which I got, was one of the great waste of times of all time.
Well, but you know what?
They don't want you to know that, which is sweet.
You have a nice, you know, maybe
But I met-
$30,000 hex debt that you get to slowly chip away at over the entirety of your
But I
life.
did meet
That accrues interest.
some wonderful friends. It doesn't accrue interest; it goes up with inflation.
Oh, well,
Read a
it's still
book.
fun. Inflation's going
Read a
up,
book
isn't
or
it?
go back to uni, please.
Is inflation going up?
Is interest the same thing?
No, but I'm just saying, is it going up?
Does it accrue interest?
Is it going up?
Did
Does
you
it accrue
finish school?
I did finish
Okay.
school. I
He's not a
didn't
big
do
numbers
maths,
guy.
though.
Okay.
But what I did get was lovely friends and a podcast, so that does count for something.
That does.
So I did get something out of uni, but not what they
Not what you're paying.
wanted to get.
Do you think big uni was sending firm and strong emails to Elon Zuckerberg going, "Oi, can you please stop telling motherfuckers to drop out of uni and look how good I'm going?"
Yeah.
I'm sure they were, but I don't think that they would listen. Trailblazers, do what they want. you
Yeah.
know?
When you're blazing trails, you don't listen to no one.
You know, well, you don't respond to emails when you're blazing trails.
I think it's a little bit different in Australia, at least based on some of my mates, like that you don't 100% need a degree.
Every fucking place asks for a degree.
Really?
Nah.
You go
do
on,
they?
yeah, mate. When you're like job searching, seek.com et al, not an ad. Finder.com, not an ad. I don't know if that's a job site, but mate, it's all
Still looking for a New South Wales beer rep. Send an
Apparently,
email to Matt at
people are sending it to
blokeinabar.com.
Matty. It's matt@blokeinabar.com.au.
Really?
Not Matty.
Someone told you that they were sending it to Maddie.
Yeah, someone sent us a screenshot of a wrong email or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's Matt at
someone actually
blokeinabar.com.
did send it to Maddie.
Yeah.
At blokeinabar.com.
.com.
Not AU.
Not AU.
Salary. It will be not yet. We can't
Once you
talk
get
about it.
hired, we'll announce your salary.
salary on air.
And all of your other private information like your address, your name,
Bank
how many kids
details.
you've got,
Yep.
all that kind of stuff, your credit card details.
Yep.
We'll announce that on the next podcast.
100% we will.
But I forgot what we were talking about.
Big uni?
Big uni,
Big uni, big rip-off.
trailblazing, emails, don't know. But listen, emails, uni's a joke.
It does
it's good fun.
It does allow you to get like loose as a goose.
That's what I was going to say. Every
you
job,
know what I
every
mean?
job thingo on like your job search websites, it's all degrees. Sometimes I'll be like, we don't care if you don't, but it'd help if you did. And it's like, why? So I can prove to you that I can just accrue fucking debt for 4 years.
Just be
Is that-
quirky. Isn't that what the movie's like? If you're quirky, they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, you know what? There's something
Dress a
about
little funny.
Yeah, like there's something about this guy. Like he doesn't have a degree, so he must be moving a bit different,
it's
or
a
she
shit
must be
fight,
moving.
dude.
different.
And it's actually bullshit because the degrees don't really give you anything. There's no qualifications that I got out of my degree where like I could just walk into the job and be like, oh well, luckily he had that degree, he's really qualified. Other than like medicine or legal.
I agree with you, Eduardo. I think like unless it's going to be a lawyer, a doctor, or something
Like
that
a science,
requires,
you know what I mean?
actual, you got to study and learn shit.
My brother's a psychologist. The difference in our degrees is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the amount of shit he did versus me. I was doing like, what were we doing, like 4 hours a week or some shit?
Oi,
It
come
was
up
the
with
biggest joke.
a way to sell tomato soup. Come on, let's have a fun zany ad.
Did you go in and quote The Wolf of Wall Street? Be like,
dude,
do you want this pen?
It was
Remember
Wall Street.
that one assignment we did? We got up there and Burma was reading off his laptop.
I'd had a massive
in like a
night.
speech.
No, the reason I'd had a huge night
Because we didn't have any printing credits.
You needed printing credits. Like you had a card.
You couldn't afford to print the
I
shit.
started.
No,
I
fuck
printed
no,
off
dude.
I printed off the first half of the speech, and then ran out of printing credits. And again, like no sleep, huge night. I'm like shaking. So I get in there and I'm reading off the paper, and like you fucking can see. And then I have to just like get to the end of that, and then I put the paper down and just pick up my laptop and just hold it for the rest of the speech about like business ethics or something.
Well, you know what? You could write an op-ed basically saying only the rich kids got to deliver their proper speech because I couldn't afford paper.
Mate, we
Therefore,
couldn't
there's
even
elite
afford the
plasterboard.
internet.
Listen,
you had to get internet credits, and none of us ever had
No,
internet
but I don't
credits.
think that my lack of printing credits, I don't think came down to means as much as it came down to like where I placed my financial.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
importance.
offloading responsibility. We're all about offloading
Of course, pass the
responsibility.
buck.
Not your fault.
Not my
Everyone
fault.
else's fault. You're a victim.
Yes. No, that's a good point. I am a victim. You know what else I did when I was at uni? I submitted an assignment that was, and I didn't mean to do this. I would always do a bit of plagiarism, but
Of course, this is before Turnitin, wasn't it?
No, Turnitin was still a thing, but I just think they were a little more lax out where we were.
I don't think they used it out there, bro.
I got a call from my lecturer, and he goes, "Hey, mate, listen, 100% of what you submitted was plagiarized." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Everything, like the whole thing was not yours." And I'm like, "Dude, that's a mistake." I'm like, "Listen, I'm like, even I can acknowledge that maybe I'm a little bit cheeky, but I'd never do that." And he's like, "If you can do another one for me by Thursday, then you'll be sweet. And like, I'll give you a shot." My missus at Sydney Uni, not an ad, she failed an entire subject for quoting herself in a separate assignment and not like referencing
it.
herself.
No
So she
fucking
quoted
way.
herself from a previous assignment. They failed her and she had to do summer school. She's like, "Bro,
That is outrageous.
Summer school.
she had to pay for the course."
That's
the
a
whole
racket.
thing.
That's
It's
a-
a complete
No, that's a
racket.
racket.
It's a racket.
Shame on you,
Like
Sydney
that's
Uni.
almost like mafioso.
No,
kind of
that's a
stuff.
rack. You know what? They'd be telling the fucking. This is all alleged, of course, but I reckon they'd be saying to the professors, "You fucking fail people, bro,
Yeah.
for anything, and you're getting kickbacks.
Boom.
You're getting fucking.
You get them into
you're getting
summer
commish,
school.
baby.
So she had to do
You're
a whole
getting
thing at summer
commish.
school because she didn't quote herself.
Yeah, and this is all a joke. We have no evidence of anything you just said.
No, I do. She will definitely. She would.
No,
have
I'm
kept
talking about the
receipts.
commish stuff.
Oh, the commish thing is.
Oh, whoa,
no,
look, follow the money.
Whoa.
Hey, follow the money. Follow the money.
That's all alleged.
Well, of course it's
From
alleged.
him specifically, separate to Shane Key, separate to Bloke in a Bar, separate to others words, just him as an entity.
I said alleged, which
You
covers
did,
me.
yeah, you did say that.
I said it at the start.
That's
Which
true.
is most likely not true what we just said. Actually, it's not true.
It's not true. But
not true.
they did fuck over my
But
missus.
that is outrageous
That's
though.
bullshit.
Do you reckon it was just the crazy thing about stuff like that is like the power of if they're in a good mood, they might go, "You know what? Doesn't matter."
Yeah.
Then her whole life changes.
She had to go to a full like tribunal-y thing of like plead her case. She's like, "I was quoting myself. Like I didn't know if that." No, like,
way.
nah, sorry, too bad.
Imagine if instead of being at fucking summer school, she'd walk past a news agency and she bought a lottery ticket and she won like 30 million. Like
Yeah.
how quickly your life could have changed.
Yeah.
How you could have fucked over.
That's
Maybe you would have broken up.
I'm not.
Could have broken
Maybe you
up.
could have broken up.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not following here. You're saying if she had just passed the thing,
Well,
over,
summer
she
They
school-
had have allowed her and she had a summer off, baby.
Summer,
Her
she
fucking
could have
hair's
gone and get
flowing
your
in the
right.
wind.
Yeah, it's a hot
you're
chick
right.
summer.
that's
We all know it's a hot
completely-
chick summer.
So you're saying potentially that by failing her, we stayed together?
Yeah.
Or that we missed
You
out
actually
on the lottery?
owe the professor.
You could,
Maybe
there's a
both.
couple of different ways to look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe she has summer off and she sees a hot new piece of ass that she can't get enough of, and there's no more time for Tommy. Who knows?
Listen, I mean, I don't know if that's
Doesn't
going to
matter.
happen.
Hot girl summer.
She had a lot of years for that to happen, and she apparently she couldn't find anyone better. So.
Apparently.
Apparently.
That's all alleged. That's all alleged,
That's all
guys.
alleged.
And that's Tom's views only. That's not Edward or my
no,
views.
no.
Like that she couldn't find better.
Well, that's just her words. You know. I
yeah,
mean,
but that's your views, and that's hearsay
that's
also
not
by
my
saying
views.
that she did
It's
it.
not my views. It's just the reality. She's had a good
Is there
14
any-
years to find someone better, and she couldn't do
Have
it.
you seen documents of her stating that she could not find better? Because otherwise it's hearsay.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. She put it in. She penned a letter once.
Oh, no, we've had to
yeah,
let her.
yeah, she penned a letter.
Did it have anything to do with the pound towns? Or?
Sadly not. It was just like, there's only one of you in the world, you know, and you are.
Now, put those Pantan ones on, baby.
Yeah.
Few Pound Town ones got sent into us, a few designs. Didn't
Some
love
are-
them all.
some-
were all right.
some better than others.
Some completely ripped off Jordans. And then another person
Some
gave
were
us
horrific.
like reef walkers.
Yeah, some were horrific. The
Reef
Reef Walker ones, no
Yeah,
good.
no one's using reef walkers to Pound Town because no one's going to want to pound someone in reef walkers.
You put them on, you put those shoes on, and you're walking into an empty bedroom.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Simple as that.
deservedly so.
And you've got to put them on in a bedroom because they're so grippy. You won't be able to walk out.
No, you'll be
They
stuck
only
to
work.
the
It's kind of
floor.
like bowling shoes in a bowling alley. They're made for the
Yeah,
alley.
yeah.
Pound Towns are made just for bedrooms.
Yeah.
Bowling shoes are interesting. They're an interesting design of shoe. They all look the same. Like,
With that red and blue.
Yeah, with the red
Yeah.
and blue, and they're like sort of like an old schooly leather shoe.
Yes,
They're not
like
terribly
I
comfortable.
tell you what, though, if you go to that place at the entertainment quarter in Sydney, sorry for everyone else who doesn't live directly in the city I'm talking about, but the Sky Zone or whatever it's called, the something zone,
The one at Moore
Strike
Park.
Bowling,
The one at
they've got
Entertainment
cool
Centre.
shoes.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they got
Oh.
some like skatey shoes type things,
Well, there you go. So
which
I've been waiting
I
for
thought
some
about
innovation.
stealing back in the day when I was there.
Trailblazers.
Yeah, Trailblazers, exactly.
Basically, Elon Musk.
I wanted
and
to
stuff
knock
like
them
that.
off. I was like, I like those shoes.
So what, like Etney skate
Not
shoe
Etney,
vibes?
but a little bit more that sort of thing. Still with the big Velcro, whoosh, whoosh, but
Bring Velcro back.
Were you a
honestly.
DC or an Etney's guy?
probably more of a DC in terms of but I was a Globe skate.
You're a Globe
I was
guy. Globes.
Back when I skated.
I was
I think I was Globes too,
Yeah.
and
I
I
was
had
Etnies.
like this white, like shoe paint that could keep them white,
Oh,
and they
damn.
were white constantly.
I
Like,
had
that's
some
pretty-
Globes.
that's
My
pretty
brother
dope,
had some
dude.
Echo or Osiris or Juicy. or one of
Echo
those.
was the Rhino.
Yeah,
I had
I
an
think you
Echo
had an Echo
jumper
shoes.
that had thumb holders. Shout out to Echo.
Oh, you love
Dude,
that.
I loved my Echo jumper.
that
dude.
is good. The
Thumb
thumb holder
holders.
is good though. Keeps
Bang,
it down.
put your thumbs in,
Bring
bruh.
the thumb holders back.
Bring them
honestly.
back.
Bring Velcro
'Cause there's
back,
nothing
bring
more
thumb
annoying
holders
like
back.
slipping up like that. Stay warm all the time.
Pop your fingers in.
It's like that. Little gloves.
Sacrifice your thumbs,
100%.
obviously, but like that's all right.
Nah, but it was good fun. You know, it was a head turner.
Yeah. With your 3/4 jeans and your
Yeah, my
your
Etnies,
Velcro
dude.
Puma
Mate, you
shoes.
turn heads in that video we
Nah,
watched the
my
other
Etnies
week.
on then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those Velcro Puma.
Yeah,
Good.
Mum
Talking
used to
about-
make me wear school shoes to school, and I'd like take them off on the way to school.
Oh, you
Bang,
rebel.
Etnies in the bag.
Oh, joke's on you, Mum.
Jokes on you, Mum.
Gotcha.
I'm
I'm cool now.
You're not keeping these Etnies off my feet, Mum.
And you're trying to make me uncool, but I'm cool now.
Yeah, I'm
cool
cool
now,
again.
bruh.
Whoops.
Were you
Hawaiian
cool
shirt.
kids? Would you consider yourself cool kids?
I wasn't.
I
was
floated
like,
between. I think there was like
I
I
had
probably
mates
had
who were
moments. Yeah, I
You know
probably
what I
had
mean?
moments.
So you're like cool by association.
yeah, but I wasn't like a cool kid.
Okay.
no.
What about
I got
yourself?
exiled. I remember once getting exiled. That was tough in like year 6. So, or maybe, I don't know, maybe primary school. I can't remember the year.
Yeah.
But like, group of mates, exiled, I'm on the outer. And then I had to just go and like, fuck. I was like like when maybe like an elephant gets kicked out of the herd.
Why'd you get kicked out of the herd?
I was probably been a cocky little shit. I don't know. I probably deserved it as well.
What after you like went behind the bike sheds with
Huh?
that kid?
No, not then. That probably would have earned me some social cachet. But no, I mean, I can't remember
Fight
exactly
stories.
what it is.
Oh, fight stories.
No, fuck that fight story.
Oh, you got tailed up?
No, I didn't. I won, but I don't want to talk
Oh,
about
shit.
it. No. I actually don't want to talk
Mad
about it.
scrapper.
No.
Well,
Cut
speaking
all
of
that.
fights, I used to have this group of mates that would bully the fuck out of me until I punched on, and it would, it would just be a.
They were mates.
It was like a 6 cycle. So we had the same group of friends from like grade 1 all the way to grade 12, and every 2 years I'd have to just go, all right, boys, let's fucking go.
They're your mates?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's all the mates I had, so I just had to cop it. Otherwise, I was by myself.
And so you just had to fuck them up.
Just had to say, let's fucking go, boys. So and I learned as I got older, this is the only way to stop it. Because you go, I'm just going to be nice, and eventually they'll come round. But because they were all young boys that were, I guess, jealous of me playing sport and that. So, and then I probably didn't help the situation. Maybe I was, I don't know, cocky or whatever. And then basically what would happen is like, I just knew that I had to start a fight to end this torture that I was living in. And so I would go to, the only time they would fight me was when they had more numbers. So I would go to one and go, fucking let's have a crack. He would back down. Then I'd go to another. And then eventually we'd have a crack. It'd be like, probably like 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. And
What's it, like punching you and shit?
punch on. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what dogs.
But in like to be in their defense, like they weren't like I was constantly training like athletic and all that kind of stuff. They weren't like athletes or anything. So yeah. Anyway,
You fucked them up.
Didn't fuck them up. It was just.
And so what? You'd punch on, and that would be.
And then
it?
we'd be mates.
And then you'd be mates.
Shake hands, boom, mates.
What a weird fucking dynamic.
Kids
Yeah.
are weird, dude.
Dude, that's one of the
Kids
weirdest
are weird,
dynamics
though.
I've ever heard.
Kids
Yeah.
are weird.
Matter of
you know?
fact,
I know. You know what? Gives me anxiety. Like, going back and having to go through those like formative fucking puberty
Where
years,
nothing
dude.
makes sense and you just
Fuck
sort of
that.
It was that weird.
Don't you reckon, dude?
no, I'm
It
not-
was
I'm
that
not-
weird of a relationship that the main guy, so he was the cool kid, he was the leader of the pack. Like they used to do stuff like chase me around throwing like Fanta bottles, like those Fanta bottles that have like the white top, like and they're plastic, and they would like throw the hard bit at me.
Jesus.
They would like come down, take my soccer, like I'd be by myself juggling a soccer ball, they'd come down, take my soccer ball and like fucking kick it away. That kind of shit.
These guys don't sound like your mates.
Well,
No.
it was tough, but to be fair, the one guy that was the leader of the group, he was actually the one that said to me, mate, if you go away to this carnival with us, as in our footy team, you will be scouted by the Broncos. He's like a number one Broncos fan.
There you go.
And so like...
Oh, are you serious? Oh, that's
and
how it happened.
And yeah, so he was the only one that backed me. So he said that to me, like, he's like, mate, I promise you, like, I love the Broncos. They are fucking this, that. I've watched ever since a kid. He was like, I promise you, if you come to Confraternity, you will be scouted by the Broncos. Everyone else at the table was like, nah, you're good with us, bro, but you're not as good as they were naming like Stevie Michaels, Darius Sport, all that kind of, like the guys that were like the top of footy at the time. And everyone was saying to my face, nah, bro, you're just good locally. Like, you're not going to be good like to make the Broncos. You're kidding yourself. And he was like, nah, trust me, bro, trust me. Went away, boom, got scouted by the Broncos.
Now, do we still talk to this guy?
Yeah, I still talk to him.
And do you go, hey, dude, Fanta bottles? What the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
I mean, like that we've spoken. It's like the group of guys have spoken since. A few of them said sorry, but it's whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it
It's
is,
just
bro.
playground shit, right?
It's just, you know what? Made me
It's
into
not
the man
great,
I'm today.
but like-
You know what? It taught me a lot of life lessons of like sometimes violence is necessary.
There's a quote.
But it's the truth.
No,
sometimes
it is true.
you just need
It
to
is
swing.
true. But that's like a nice bumper sticker. Sometimes you just got to
Sometimes
swing.
you just got to swing.
Violence is necessary.
Like
Dan Kemp.
outside of like walking away, like if you're in a situation, some people don't want to just walk away. Some people
Sometimes
dangerously,
you got to swing.
or get underhooks.
Double underhooks.
Or get the
Roundabout.
hooks in, dude.
Seriously, like, the hooks are the best thing to do because you're not hitting anyone. You're disarming the attacker.
Just
You
hook
can
'em up.
Just hook them up. Hook them up. Don't swing.
I like
Hook them up.
so the headlock was.
No, the headlock is any can tackle you unless you can grapple, choke him out. Which
I
don't
was
think
an
you
orange belt in judo, so I was able to get him to the ground and basically disable him. Not important. Let's move on.
I thought you didn't want to talk about it.
No, it's just,
could. But in all
cut
seriousness,
that out, Matty. Just fucking.
in all seriousness, if you
Orange
ever,
belt, 3 stripes. Cut it
just
out.
walk away.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Orange,
Orange
belt.
belt, 3
I'm
stripes.
just
local
surrounded by
newspaper.
violence, dude. It's just not my cup of tea.
Cut it out. Newspaper, local newspaper. Cut
Or
it out.
just be like me and fucking run. You'd be
That
fine.
is honestly the best way to go.
Yeah.
It's
Run.
fun. Or talk your way out of it.
Seriously, talk your way out of it. Be funny and charming.
Talk her out of it and run.
Just charm them, dude. Just be
All
a
jokes
sh-
aside,
Dance.
The best answer.
Or dance.
Dance the way you dance in that video.
Yeah.
That'll
Or just
stop.
use
That'll
your
stop
hips.
world wars.
Yeah.
Use your hips.
All seriousness, no, guys. Just walk away. Seriously, not worth it. Doesn't make you tougher than a guy because you could beat him in a fight. Because guess what? There's about 1 million blokes that could beat him in a fight.
Yeah, unless your
always-
name was John Jones in his prime.
Yeah, and you're on
Yeah.
PEDs.
Yeah.
Or allegedly.
Or if you're just Volkanovski, who's, the greatest featherweight fighter of all time.
Are you already going to lock that in?
Oh,
I think if he
he's
beats
Australian.
Max, he is.
Yeah, if he beats
No, we're in the process of
we're
locking
in the
it in.
process of locking it in.
Yeah. I'm
So
with
I
you
got
there.
the key in the door and I'm just...
Yeah, we're,
Like,
about,
or Eddie-
we're about to unlock it.
Or Eddie has said to you, like, lock her in and that music's on and you're going...
I've got till July basically just to sort of shore
And
it
then
up. But
when he
then-
wins, you're going to go... "Brum."
Yeah.
But like I would be picking Max anyway. But if I had to get on the bluff, phone it in,
you
phone a
mean
friend, and I
Volk?
call, yeah, I'd be locking in Volk. But if
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do here? I better phone a friend. I call Tommy, and he'd be like, lock it in.
Lock it
So
in.
I'm locking it in either way.
Yeah, it'll get locked in.
Don't waste
but-
that phone a friend, though.
I
'cause
don't need,
waste
I'm just saying, like worst case.
Yeah.
I do wig. I get on the blah. It's the same answer. So
Same
it's
answer.
all good.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Cambos is fighting next week, next
Horny,
Sunday.
going to the fight.
We're going
Horny.
there.
Oh, you are going
Oh,
there?
fuck yeah,
Yeah,
ringside, baby.
Well, with KO?
Yep.
Yeah.
How
Shout out to KO.
good.
Shout out to KO.
Our
Shout
dear
out.
friends, we love ya.
Love you, KO. And we've got a potty actually with Cambosis dropping on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
We brought him up with you. Did we tell you that? He said he didn't remember you, didn't
Yeah,
he?
you did tell me
He
off
said-
air.
Yeah, he said, no idea who you are. He was like, I heard of you boys, but I don't.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, dude, I can't get enough
That's
of you. cunt."
crazy. We did like 3 podcasts
No,
ago.
he's like, dude, I've got no idea who that
Nah.
is.
Holy shit. A lot's changed since I last seen him then, I
Wow,
guess. I mean,
dude.
he's a world champion now.
Yeah.
Dude, people, you just forget
Yeah.
people that aren't important.
Yeah. people that don't make an impact on you, you
It
forget.
just slips out of your mind. Your mind's only got so much space, right? And so it's
Yeah.
like, fuck, I got to make way for this new memory of Hello Sport. Let's just get rid of some shit. And I guess that's what happened.
That's crazy. So as soon as he walked in, he immediately thought, oh, this seems like a better memory to have. I'm going to erase memories I don't need in a shit.
Yeah.
Boom. Denon went out his memory.
Clear the cache.
Hello Sport came in.
That's it, baby.
He hit like clear all history.
Yeah.
Search history.
Yeah. He cleared it all.
Clear
Cleared all the
bloke
search history.
Well, all bloke history, I think, was just wiped it.
Damn it.
I
That
know.
sucks. That means all his passwords are gone.
Control F, bloke, found, delete.
Damn it. I mean, well, you know what? I hope you forget your password then.
Maybe
Basis.
maybe you can start some new memories though. What if we introduce you guys?
We could, dude. We're pretty fucking. He like comments on our posts.
Yeah,
and shit,
we
so
could
we're
link
pretty
you
good.
up. We could link you up.
Nah, you know what? I hope he forgets his passwords now. Because that's what happened when you clear your history and then you think you're just going to get auto-filled in. Hope you forget your password. And I hope you got to reset them to your email.
It might be like a Queensland thing. I think he just
Queensland thing?
I don't
Yeah,
think
he
he doesn't
hates
like Queenslanders.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
He
crazy.
loves the great state of New South Wales, so he's just like fuck it.
Proud man.
But we'll be there, and we're pumped for him because he's going to get that fucking W, baby.
Yeah, he is
And
going
he's
to
going
get
to
that.
fuck him up.
be undisputed.
And I think it's like one of the only times in history all those belts have been one person. Incredible.
It'll be the 7th undisputed reign in boxing history.
Which is wild. Like, absolutely wild. And what's crazy is if he wins this, like, he is set financially because his next fight will be probably Lomachenko or you go a cash grab. Or
mate, win or lose, his next fight's in Melbourne.
Also, he's got a rematch clause.
But no. So he's
But
got a
it's in-
2-fight deal in Melbourne. So if Haney wins, then it's an automatic rematch in Melbourne. And if he wins, it's just another fight in Melbourne.
Probably
Oh
Lomachenko
my God.
in Melbourne.
That is hectic.
Yeah.
That is.
He's fucking stitched up one of the great deals all time.
Oh, I mean, whoever's negotiating for him, pat on the back kind of stuff.
Yeah.
2 mega fights, guaranteed.
At home?
At home, guaranteed. Fucking
That's actually
unbelievable.
pretty incredible.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
When have you ever heard of that? Like, especially if you lose, to the rematch clause to be like, you've got to come back, bruh.
far out.
He won't lose, but like,
That is actually one of the all-time deals.
yeah, fucking oath it is.
Because boxing in Australia is so hard to do because you've got to bring so much out here, like, because the world is watching that fight, and it's such a long flight, all that kind of stuff. It's expensive for companies to send, massive production teams out here. What a deal by Kambosos, and he's earned every penny. Like, talk about a bloke that truly earned every single dollar. He was fighting in punch bowl, fucking local RSL clubs and that.
Yeah, I, like 100% he was. There's like on his fucking fight cards, punch bowls on there.
Love it. Punchy
How
RSL.
good's that?
I mean,
Unbelievable.
How much more poetic could you get? Like, he's fighting in punch bowl. That represents Australia pretty strongly.
And then you see the way he talks, where he's
Mate,
Salt of the earth kind of bloke.
yeah. But just his belief, the way he talks, like he's just,
Oh, he makes you believe.
he's just got that thing.
He's
where
got
you're
it.
like, oh, you can talk.
He could tell me something that I don't believe, that I know not to be true. By the end of the conversation, I would be like, what you just said is true, and I originally thought that wasn't true.
Yeah, you changed my
You've
mind.
made me believe.
he's just got this like superstar intensity. And it's like,
He's got the superstar about him, mate.
Do you know what I
Got
mean?
the look, he's got the
Yeah.
swagger.
he's got the look, he holds
But
himself, the way he
it's
speaks.
the McGregor, it's the
his
Conor
belief-
McGregor
it's the
style of self-belief talk. Like the way he talks, it's not the like Conor McGregor shit talking element, but just like the way he speaks is
Prime
that
Conor
like,
McGregor.
Yes, that
Prime
like,
Conor McGregor.
you make me believe in what that you're gonna win.
Because,
Like, with
but
your
he
confidence.
believed it. McGregor,
Yes,
like
yeah.
he willed it into reality.
What I'd give for the McGregor fucking golden years.
Oh,
That's
take
all
me
right.
back.
But now we're in the Kambosos
No,
golden
I know.
years. Do you know
I
what I
know.
mean?
True.
You're right.
So that's all right.
And I'd rather Kambosos' golden years, to be honest.
Fucking oath.
Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. We will be at Origin Game 1 at the Locker Room Hotel outside ANZ, now known as Accor Stadium. That is right, the Locker Room Hotel. It's free. All I ask is buy a beer or a feed when you get there. Don't worry about numbers. There'll be plenty of... We're basically going to set the stage up so that even if you're not in the picketed area, you still will be able to watch. So it's on a huge grassy area, so don't worry about numbers, but make sure to be there. It's going to be a huge show. Got the great Hello Sport on there, but just like this, just us talking absolute nonsense, pretty much. And how good would that be? You get a bit of dribble, a bit of yarn, then you go and watch Game 1 Origin, which is going to be an absolute massive game. Locker Room Hotel, fantastic pub, got huge screen, got 3 levels, got an outside area. The Locker Room Hotel, make sure to be there for Game 1. Most likely start around 5. We'll have probably myself and Guru on initially, and then we'll bring the big boys on the next hour or so. So make sure to be there. Origin, Game 1. Also, we've got a huge announcement coming either June 1 or June 6, but a huge Bloke announcement coming June 1 or June 6. Plus, we're in all celebrations, Bottle-O's, Porter's Liquors, and IGA Plus Liquor in New South Wales and ACT. Plus, we are in every single Celebration Superstore in Queensland. If you go to our website, we've also got a store locator. We are nationwide. But make sure to get into your Celebrations, your Bottle-O, your Portals liquor, your IGA Plus liquor, and New South Wales and ACT. Just, if this goes well, guys, I can't tell you what it's going to mean for Bloke in a Bar community. Now, boys, we have to get to it. Now, it looks like it's been a rough couple of few days for you. Now, you don't look bad. You look great as always. It's dashing, all that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
But you basically don't need to watch rugby league for another 6 months, pretty much.
Why is that?
Well, your season's over.
Why is that?
Season's over.
Why is that?
Why is the season over? I'm confused.
Why is the season? I'm not quite. I'm not following.
I'm just confused. I don't know how you fucking carry on up north. Like, if you lose one play, you just turn off the TV and don't support your club.
Well,
that's not how we fuck down here.
I don't do that. I'm saying you should do that.
That's not how we
Well, that's what you said, and you only said that because that's what you do.
Yeah.
We don't do that down here.
I've proven I'll ride or die to the death.
We get behind the boys. Don't worry about that.
I've never been more confident in the fact that we win the comp, really. Like, Tommy's out, obviously. You know what some people don't account for is that Tommy, after Des, is the second best coach in the competition. So now what we have is the two best coaches in the competition up in the fucking box in the sky, just bloody moving the chess pieces. Ruben, we didn't actually lose a game when Tommy was out. There's an argument that Manly's stronger without him.
Look, it's an argument, and and we're not taking away from the great Tommy T.
We love Tom.
Feels like you're already, see you later, Tommy. We loved you last year.
mate.
Fucking see you later.
Well, all he's saying is there is.
You said they're a better side.
There is an argument to be made.
You're making that argument.
that with the two best coaches.
I haven't heard anyone else make that argument.
Well, because no one else is tapped in like us, Denon.
With the two best coaches in rugby league, moving the chess pieces.
Yep.
You've got Ruben Garrick, the snack, the
Yep.
15th peak, filling in at fullback. You could argue.
I'm not going to argue that.
You could argue.
I would never argue that.
In the court of law,
could
based on what's happened this season already, when he wasn't played, we've won every game.
Okay.
You could argue that we are stronger, potentially. Just for this season.
If
Just
you,
for 2022.
Okay. If you did argue that, would you need to get your brain checked?
No.
No, you
But
would.
I'm happy to prove that we're serious.
Yeah, but like everyone said that Galileo was like mad and dumb. And, you know,
They come for the
they come for the geniuses.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are you saying that it's a genius thing to argue that then?
Yes,
Yeah.
you've got to be a genius.
So
You've gotta be a
you
genius.
believe that you're a genius and you are arguing that then?
Look,
Yes.
Newton, Einstein, Tom, Eddie, Galileo, fucking
Thomas and Eduardo
Copernicus,
sounds better.
Da Vinci.
et al.
Yeah.
All the greats,
Yeah.
dude.
All the greats.
Now,
Okay.
we've figured out what's happened. Tom and I have fucking crunched the numbers.
We know what's going on.
Are we talking rugby league math or normal math?
No, we're talking curses,
Just
dude.
curses.
Oh, sorry.
This is a curse.
Apologies. My bad.
The moment Manly pulled on that black jersey against the Broncos Friday night,
Magic round. Friday the 13th.
our cards were marked.
Yeah.
The rugby league
Curse.
gods go, black jerseys, alternate strip, Friday the 13th. Good luck, bro.
Magic
We're gonna-
round?
We're going to curse the fuck out of you. We are currently living in a curse. Tom and I, this Thursday, we're doing a live stream. Hello Sport YouTube. We will be opening that live stream with the solution to our problems.
Yeah. A ceremony of sorts.
Oh, lifting the curse maybe?
Yeah. Breaking it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is this an
7:50
exclusive?
Thursday.
Did we get an exclusive here of what's going to happen on Thursday?
Well, you certainly, we don't want to go into it too much because you kind of have to sneak up on a curse, right? You don't want the curse to know we're coming for it. But we've got some things that we've been looking into. We've been consulting with a witch and
Wizard.
so a wizard. Well, I mean,
Witches.
Witches and wizards, same thing. I mean, let's not be fucking gender specific.
Well, look, just a person that can handle curses.
A person that can deal with curses.
They can identify however they like.
Look, we've gone deep into the world of woo-woo and
Yeah.
we've found solutions.
See, now I thought you were against woo-woo
No, we're
because you
against
hate magic.
We're against magic.
Not the same thing.
But you said you were outdone by the woo-woo.
No. We
had too much woo-woo,
we
that's
are
what you said.
No. We are believers and proponents of woo-woo.
Okay.
But we don't believe in magic. Magic's ridiculous.
Magic's not real.
Magic's not real, Denon.
You know what you're going to
Grow
need
up,
to. You know what you're going to need
Peter
to bounce
Pan.
back from this? A bit of magic.
No.
No.
Woo-woo. You need woo-woo.
No. We need a curse to be broken, dude.
Yeah.
Watch this curse get broken. Us get the fucking big W Thursday night,
Yeah.
Manly 13 plus. Watch that happen. I cannot fucking wait. You get
Yeah.
$19 for Manly 13 plus. Load up.
Or
That actually is pretty good value.
Chuck in Tafua anytime with a 13 plus because he's back for the first time in like 2 years and you get like 30.
Could Tafua be the man to break the curse?
Well,
Is
he's
he a
got-
part of your curse breaking?
He could snap the curse right out of the side by
Yeah,
just putting
he
on
could.
fucking shots from hell. But
Yeah.
we're going to help.
Yeah.
In our own way.
Set him up to snap the curse.
Yeah, look, if anyone can snap a curse out of a side, it's him, Georgie Tafua.
Okay. Yeah.
He takes souls, dude.
Okay, could you walk me through the difference between magic and woo-woo?
Magic is something made up by J.K. Rowling, and it's some sort of dumb Harry Potter bullshit. Whereas woo-woo is, I mean, I guess evidenced by the entirety of human history. Woo-woo has been practiced since early man. You know what I mean? And it's
Since
just
the
been
earliest man.
Since the
and
earliest
woman.
man, woo-woo's been passed down.
Yep.
So that's what this is. This is
okay.
like human history. is
Woo-woo
woo-woo.
explains the unexplainable, and it exists on a different plane.
Okay.
Very simple.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Didn't think it was that fucking difficult. To understand, to be honest.
Neither did I. But
So you
Devastated
guys...
for Tommy.
You're devastated for Tommy.
Devastated for Tommy.
We are devastated
obviously,
for Tommy.
we're devastated for Tommy. It's devastating for Manly's season, although we'll be
no,
fine.
Yeah, we'll be right.
It's devastated for New South Wales. I don't know if Australia's playing this year, but if they were, it's
I think they
devastating.
are. Is there a World Cup?
Yeah.
Oh, there is? Well, then it's devastating for that as well. He's
When is the World Cup? Sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
a big loss.
He's a big loss. Look, it's going to be tough times ahead for you guys.
No, it's not.
Because you're not even in the 8 right now.
Well, yeah,
With-
but we
with
basically
Tommy.
are.
But yeah,
We're basically in the
I
eight.
think I said this last week. Have you heard of the Peloton when it comes to like cycling? You sit at the back of the Peloton, you let people break all the air, and then when the time's right,
You remember
So
Mark?
you're not strong enough to make your own.
no, we're fucking
Dude,
playing smart.
You know, mate, have you seen the end of the tour, the end of the spring stages, which we're on?
Yeah.
The Peloton just fucking lead out, and then you just have some of the sprinters lead you out, and then the big boys, the big dogs,
Yeah, okay.
come from the back and
like
So-
you don't even really need to pedal when you're at the back of the Peloton. The slipstream just drags you along with
Yeah.
it. So you
Okay.
conserve energy.
See, we just want to win. You know, we're out the front.
It's because you've been
essentially in the
losing for
top
so
four.
long. You don't understand how to fucking build a season.
World Cup starts 15th of October, which is roughly 2 weeks after the grand final. And it's in England.
Wow.
And it's in England.
It's in England.
In England, yeah.
Wow. I'm actually most likely going to travel around that time. So maybe I'll stop in at the World Cup.
There you go.
Yeah, going to travel. May take a few weeks off, boys.
Oh, yeah?
good for you, buddy. I'll be
Maybe.
having a little bit of time off in
Yeah, we'll
November.
be taking time off.
Yeah,
Don't you
get
worry about
horizontal.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm having a wedding. You're not invited.
Wow.
Wrecked.
That was
Holy
like
shit.
super aggressive, bro.
Wow,
Oh, well, I'm just been waiting for my time.
Holy
Biding my
shit.
time.
Yeah,
I was actually going to delay or even go earlier so that I could be available to get invited. And now
Well, I was invited to yours, though.
That's a good point.
That's the problem.
that's spiteful. I feel like you're being spiteful now.
It's not being spiteful. It's just I understand now where I sit in your hierarchy of needs.
It's not very high.
It's not very high. In fact, it's quite low.
It's very low.
Maybe it has something to do with I knew that way you could move. After witnessing that video, I didn't want those dance moves at my wedding. Ever think of
I
that?
could have put him away, dude. I could have parked him if you
I
asked
think
me
you
nicely.
can. I think that was a natural hip thrusting that only comes out naturally. It doesn't get brought out or put back in. The music happens. You start to sway. You can't stop yourself.
You could have put a curtain up or something, dude, if I started moving well.
True, you could have had like a safe place for you just to go move if you had to.
A hip moving area.
Yeah.
If you
Like a curtained off section, just go move in
Get
there,
up from
bro.
the dinner table. It's like, listen, I need to. It's the equivalent of like the bathroom, but for hip moving.
A hip
And
break.
It's like I need to just go into the hip room and just fucking.
if I
It's like a naughty corner, but not.
Yeah.
Well, it's
well,
sort
it
of
is a naughty quarter.
It's naughty.
It's really naughty
It's
in
naughty,
there.
all right.
So if I see you at the dinner table starting to move a bit, I go, mate, get the fuck out
the
of
fuck
here.
out.
Get in the hip corner. Get it out of your system. Come back because I don't want to lose my wife on the
Like
night.
if someone puts Elvis on, you're like, fuck, get this guy at the naughty corner
Get him in the
quickly.
naughty corner quick.
Because he's about to start dropping panties.
fucking LA. Tell
And
you what.
boxer shorts.
And boxer shorts. Well, probably mostly
Does anyone
boxer
wear
shorts.
boxer shorts anymore?
Tom
No.
does.
Briefs?
Do you wear boxer shorts?
Fuck no, dude.
Like
You
the
got
silk
boxer
ones?
short about you, dude.
Like the bunchy silk.
I reckon you wore them like until recently.
Yeah.
Boxer shorts?
I can see that.
I believe that is far more of a you thing to do with your 3/4 jeans and your Hawaiian shirt and your Velcro shoes.
Whoa, that was spiteful, bro.
Well, it's
That's
me
a, he had a soft spot there.
Oh, sorry, I'm not coming back. I'm going to
That
fucking
wasn't very
defend
nice,
my
was it?
honor, defend
Jesus.
myself.
I felt like it was just playful. It's turned into
Yeah,
a
I
brief.
am a briefs guy, though.
You're a briefs guy?
But then I went for a run the other day
Mm.
in briefs instead of my like ones that sort of protect the sack and the thighs.
Yeah.
And because we are trying to run a marathon later in the year and I'm not very fit. And I was like fucking 3Ks in and I'm like, I think I've got to call it. This chafe is too bad. Then I went, Tom, you've got to run a marathon. So time to grit it and just push through.
Time to grit, dude.
Time to grit. So I ran I ran 1 extra kilometre because all I wanted to do was run 4, which is not much. And
So what? 4Ks is the marathon you're talking about?
no, that's my preparation.
Okay. Gonna need more than that.
I am going to need more than that. It was my first run,
okay.
essentially first run. And
Well,
it's
second.
second run. All I'm saying is I ran through great adversity and I proved my mettle, and it holds me in very good stead for when I run 40Ks.
I saw a good meme the other day. Would marathons exist if you couldn't talk about doing them?
Definitely not. No way.
Probably not.
No.
Because like people only do marathons to tell other people they did them.
100%. Or if you have it wrapped up in some sort of a partnership with a brand.
And for mental health.
And for mental health.
That's why we're doing it, dude. We care. We care
Yeah,
about
we
people.
care,
You guys
dude.
do care. You do care. Look, I feel like sometimes you don't care about me, but outside of that, you care.
Imagine how it'd feel, though, like not being invited to a wedding, you know, and just seeing it pop up, not even knowing it was on.
Not even being told
being
about
told
it.
No one
it
knew
was
it was
And then
on.
you realize it dawns on you that the reason you weren't told about it is because you weren't invited.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, boys, I think I've made it pretty clear why you weren't invited. Eddie, the hips, they move too well. I couldn't compete with that. It's my marriage night. I'm trying to keep my wife.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm trying to keep my
I
wife.
mean, I don't move that well. Why was I?
Well, you're a partnership. It would be pretty
Because you were
poor.
trying to fight everyone.
Yeah, it's true. You get a few rums in you.
No.
You'd be
Judo.
You'd be calling me out the front.
Well, that's true. I would do some judo sweeps. Orange belt, 3 stripes. Cut that out.
We are located. Bloke Beer is located in the following: Post Office Hotel, Coburg; Bridgeport Hotel Liquor, Bridgeport Hotel Liquor; Paddington Hotel Liquor Barn; White Lion Hotel Maryborough; Central Tavern West Caloundra; Sundowner Saloon Hagesley; Rosebery Green Bottle; Liquor Emporium Alexandria. They've been there since day dot, Liquor Emporium, so make sure to get down to Liquor Emporium Alexandria; Grange Hotel Wyoming; Tea Gardens Hotel; Romeo's Food Hall Everleigh; Nova Discount Liquor in Katara.
Tea Gardens.
Make sure to grab a case of Bloke and a Bar, guys. We're also in every single celebrations, Bottle-O, IGA Plus Liquor and Porter's Liquor in ACT and New South Wales.
Shout out to Tea Gardens in Bondi Junction, I believe, of the squishiest floor outside the pub fame.
Squishy floors?
Yeah. Essential. Or at least it was back in the day. I think it's probably a nice establishment now. Back in the day, it was
No, it's still squishy floor.
Okay.
I went there last week.
Which place is this?
It's in Bondi
Tea
Junction,
Gardens?
Tea Gardens. A lot of Irish people there, probably
Hey,
pre-COVID.
it's a salt of the earth kind of place.
Dude, I'm not
I
anti
don't mind Tea Gardens.
I don't mind. I'm not anti-Tea Gardens.
It's
I'm just
opposite
saying.
the Roosters.
It's basically a
Leagues
jumping castle outside of the.
That's good.
the
Bit of
venue.
fun.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah, a bit of fun.
Now, breaking news. Aitkens has signed with the Dolphins. Reportedly, the amount is around the 400K mark. Again, reportedly. I think it's probably around like the 350 mark. I think that would be a fair assessment. What do you guys think of Aitkens to Dolphins, assuming that he's most likely going to play wide running forward?
Yeah, it's a good signing. It's nothing. It's not going to blow your dick clean off, but it's a good signing.
I will say, though, his stats compared to a lot of back rowers in his better games this year are very comparable. So if you're getting him for 350, 400 and he can do those stats week in, week out, it's a fucking great buy.
Yeah, he's fucking rock solid. Again, he's not like a fucking...
He's not a brick.
He's not a huge name. He's not a brick, but he's cement as fuck.
Yeah.
He's cement.
He'll
He's
do a
cement.
job.
What is interesting, though, is that they've got Kafusi and they've got Bromwich. So are they not going to play him wide running forward?
Well, he could be a centre again.
Yeah, okay. And what, you pay him $350 for a centre spot?
Oh, they're just padding the roster. We need fucking backups.
Good bench player. Good bench player.
Good bench player.
Going to be interesting. Or they could be preparing for life after Kafusi, Bromwich, maybe as well.
There was a period there where he was at least spoken in Origin circles.
Yeah,
He was never.
sure.
He wasn't fucking about to get picked necessarily, but it was like, oh, he's in some good form come Origin time. Like there were those chats when he was playing centre for the Dragons. So, I mean, fuck, like he's versatile.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's a great signing, especially if it's around the 350K, even 400K. I think like for what he can deliver, it would be a good buy, but I think it's closer to the 300, 350K mark. So good signing. I think their forward pack is really starting to take shape. You know, you've got Mark Nichols, you've got Ray Stone, you've got Kafusi, you've got Aitkens, you've got Bromwich, you've got obviously the other Bromwich brother. That's a pretty solid forward pack.
Coming together.
You've got Ray Stone, that'll probably play 13. You've got Nichols up front.
I was going to say he'd play lock.
I'd say Ray Stone probably because I know he struggled a little bit in hooking role, but clearly he can pass to a degree. And that's what you want in your 13, be able to pass. So if you've got a starting forward pack with Nichols, who was in a grand final, and then you've got Jesse Bromwich, who was, we all know how good he is, Kenny Bromwich and Kafusi with Ray Stone, that's a pretty solid forward pack in my opinion.
It's solid,
Missing
yeah.
a hooker.
Yeah, absolutely. Missing a hooker for sure. But I think that's...
They've still got buying to do. It's only May.
Yeah, only May. And so I think Dolphins deserve a pretty decent rap because I don't think anyone could deny that forward pack, just that forward pack, is a competing for top 8 forward pack. Like, it's a competitive forward pack. It's not like, oh shit, like what's going to happen here? Like, all of those guys have either final experience or grand final experience. Ray Stone's played in finals footy now. Bromwich Brothers, obviously, Kafusi, Nichols. Only the one that doesn't, or Aitken's probably has played finals footy when it comes to when he's at the Dragons, I think. So, look, Dolphins deserve a wrap. I think it's a great buy. Great buy. Now, who do you guys think will be the Origin centres and number 14 for New South Wales?
Look, we've obviously lost our fucking picks 1 and 2 in Tommy and Latrell, which is devastating, but we go deep, dude.
Yeah.
We go deep.
Mariana Trench vibes.
We're fucking deep down here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Stephen Crichton, absolute lock. He plays for the Panthers. He's ripping and fucking tearing. He knows the boys. The boys know him. I like him in there.
It's important that they know him as well as he know them.
You know what I mean?
And he knows
You want your
himself.
6 and your 7 to know you, love you, trust you, want you to hold you. You know what I mean? And then your lock as well.
Yeah.
Also a holder, a
Locking-
lover, a
locking
carer.
in, locking
Lock
you
in.
in, yeah.
I'll lock in on you, bro.
Yeah, and your
Let me
winger
lock in
and
on you, bro.
Paul-
Let me lock in on you. Then bang. It's all making
Maybe
sense.
Happy Coruscant.
I think they'll go with Katoni Stags because of the whole thoroughbred thing.
Yeah,
you know
the
what I
thickness
mean?
squared kind of thing.
Well, it's just like I can see Katoni throwing up one of his fucking patented
Narbras.
Narbras all over a Queensland face,
Yeah.
throwing to the ground, maybe another one for good measure, and scoring a famous try as we go up 70-0. I can see
I heard
that.
they actually have taken assuming he gets picked, they're waiting to see, but Accor Stadium and the other stadiums that are hosting games have been told to be prepared to take the rows, remove like the first 8 rows if Katoni plays, because they're going to fucking just be Queenslanders getting chucked into the stand. So they just want to extend
I've
the
heard that
grass.
too.
a
That's size
little
up
bit.
footy.
No, I've actually heard that attendance is going to be slightly down.
I will
for that
say
reason.
For that reason.
it is interesting because I remember a conversation where we were talking about Talakai versus Stags, and you were on the thickness squared side. I was on the Narbra side, and I felt like you underestimated the Narbra. Have you come around to the Narbra?
Clearly.
I also think that Denon just reworking history. I don't know whether that was what we did speak to, and from a very science-specific background, was that when the Broncos played the Sharks, we were seeing thickness squared come up against a Narbra of note, and we were just trying to work out who was going to come out on top. We weren't married to either outcome, but it would seem after
I
that
think if
game
you go back and watch
that
it,
Narbraing of note
I think Tom's
took the
nailed it.
chocolates there.
I think that you were underestimating the Narbra, and I was trying to convince you, and you weren't convinced, and that's understandable. But to sit here and try and rewrite history, pretend like you were 50-50.
Sounds like you're rewriting history here. And it's a disgrace, and I'm about to walk.
Yeah,
So
let's,
you're on-
let's agree to disagree. How does that sound? 14, Nico Hines, hottest, wettest hair.
over Whiten. Do you think?
Yes.
So you think Freddie's going to not pick his boy?
I think Nico is more dynamic. And
Dynamic as fuck.
I like that.
Yeah,
He
his
can
hair
play
was.
fucking anywhere, dude. You can put him in the back row if you had to. He'd do a job.
He got more powerful as his hair got wetter on the weekend. We all saw that in the second half.
It's just like drench that fucking hair, brah, and let him go out there and do the damn thing. He could blow the game wide open.
Freddie should run down before he comes on, get a bottle, and just be like.
Well, I
on
think
his
there's
hair.
a dedicated coach to just keeping that shit moist if he's playing.
Well,
Much like a whale that's beached itself, and you just need to have someone hosing it down.
100%.
I think there's a Nico hoser. He's just got
well, he's just like
sprinkler.
He's just got 6-pack of waters at all times, just banging them
Yeah.
out.
Every time he
just
runs
fucking
past him.
clipped all over him,
Yeah.
bruh. That's how I see it going. Look, Jack White, maybe Freddie's a loyal guy. I think he'll go loyal in the back row as well for that reason. But we'll wait and see. I'd pick Nico because my love affair for him's pretty fucking well documented.
And he's been playing better. And Whiten hasn't ripped hasn't dominated in Origin for the last couple of years. Like, he's been good, and he's been part of a winning side and all that. But I just feel like Nico's earned it.
Could you say that, maybe Whiten is more suited for what they need? For example, if you've already got a guy like Cleary and Luai and Cook that are going to cover the ball playing, is it smart to bring on another ball player instead of a big body that is going to be able to, take some pretty heavy hit-ups?
It's a fair point you make.
You know what I mean? Like, what's kind of like the argument against Nico, and no one's a bigger fan of Nico than myself.
Well, we are.
No, I'm absolutely not.
We're
a
the
fan.
biggest fans of Nico.
Spent plenty of time with him. I would consider him
Well,
a friend.
so then you're not a fan, are you? You're a friend. You're just somebody who sucks him off even though you know him. But we are just fans.
Pretty sure you can also be a friend and a fan.
Yeah,
Are
but
you not fans of your mates?
But we're bigger fans.
Sounds like a dog to me.
We're bigger
No, we're
fans.
just saying we're bigger fans.
I'm a fan of my mates.
Okay, cool.
Are you not a fan of your mates?
No, that's fine. I'm a bigger Nico fan than you are.
Yeah, okay, but are you not fans of your mates? Because you just said you can't be friends and a fan.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying you sound like you're more of a friend than a fan.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Whereas I'm more of a fan than a friend.
Pretty simple.
Now I forgot my... Oh, yeah, so the people... The anti-Hines selection would be, what is he going to bring different that Cleary, Luai, Tedesco, Cook is, whereas Whiten can essentially be another forward and you can bring him on through the middle, taking big hit-ups.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
How much difference is there in size between those two?
White,
Could Nico do that?
Nico's probably they're probably as tall as each other. I would say Whiten's probably 3 or 4 kilos heavier, maybe. Just a thicker, more robust kind of physique, I think. But Nico has proven that wherever you put him, he throbs.
I just like the idea of having a throbber in form out there.
Yeah.
Who's just really confident in the footy he's playing.
I think
They also don't tend to use the 14 a fucking heap
yeah.
in Origin.
And that's why, wouldn't it lean more towards Whiten then? Because it's like we can bring him on to get through, 5-6 hit-ups and then get him off kind of thing.
Truck some nut.
Yeah, truck some nut, bring him on, get some energy in there. I think initially he'll probably stay loyal to Whiten, and then depending on how things turn out, he may bring in Hines the next couple of games.
I won't be fuming if loyalty wins through and Jackie Boy Whiten is a throbber, so who gives a fuck?
So, Whiten's got 2 centimetres of height on Nico and 6 kilos.
Ooh,
there you go.
That's according to NRL.com. Like, who knows?
2 centimetres.
Yeah.
So that means that, because Hines is at least 6'1".
Hines is, I don't know the conversion there, but Hines is 188 centimetres and Whiten's
That's like
190.
6'2".
6'2". I don't think Whiten
That's
is
big,
6.
dude.
That's my-
Nico's big.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
183 is 6
6
foot, so he might even be 6'2" and a bit.
So that
pretty
means that
fucking tall.
that means
That's
that
tall,
Tingo's
dude.
6'3". I don't think Whiten's 6'3". He's definitely thicker for sure. Interesting though. I would consider them the same height. Yeah, maybe they're not. I don't know.
You know what? If you're a real friend of Nico's, you'd know exactly how tall he was.
How tall is Eddie?
He's 183.
Are you really
185.
185. See, you're a dog. You're a dog.
He's 183.
If you were a fan of your mates, you would know that.
No, he's 183. I'm telling you.
Matty the Waterboy is 5'6".
Shout out to Matty.
Shout out to Matty.
164?
Thereabouts, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's 5'6".
Yeah, he's tiny.
Tiny, little
That's
baby.
right. He's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
That's why he's saying grill all the time.
Yeah.
Does weird shit because he's 5'6".
I mean,
why
also
scissors.
because you tie him up to the fucking desk.
Because you can scissor at any height.
Yeah, at any height, it's actually better to be small.
We're
when
all
you
the
scissor.
same height on the ground, laying down to
That's
scissor.
right. Yeah,
That's what he tells chicks.
yeah.
And they're like,
And dudes.
I like tall guys and goods. The guy, I like tall guys. He goes, yeah, but have you ever scissored with someone on the ground? Doesn't matter how tall you are.
Exactly.
Can't scissor at 6 feet. You can, though, on the ground. Always said it.
It's words to live by.
Words to live by. Now, New South Wales, if Murray is fit, who would be the other starting back row?
AC.
AC, you reckon?
Crichton,
I reckon.
not Olakawatu.
I reckon they'll go AC. That's what I think.
I don't think
Freddie
they'll
will
pick
go loyal.
Olakau'atu.
Well,
Freddie will be loyal, I reckon. AC's been there.
Wasn't
He's done
AC
it.
well,
bench?
Sims started
Sims
last
would be
year.
loyalty.
Or Liam Martin? Was he off
I
the
think
bench
he was
last year?
bench as well,
It was
wasn't
bench.
he?
It was Sims that started.
Sims
Tarek,
and Murray, yeah.
Murray and Yo.
So was Crichton and Liam Martin on the bench?
Yeah.
Yep. So Crichton, Liam Martin were on the bench, and I think in game
Jake
3 when someone got
Trbojevic.
injured, that's when he
But
started.
who did Tarek go in because Frizzell got injured? I'm just trying to
Yes.
remember.
Yeah, I think so.
But wasn't Angus Crichton injured as well?
Maybe the first game.
The first game?
I do know that Sims,
Played all three, starting,
and he killed it,
and he killed it.
especially that first game.
That, to me, would earn you
Loyalty.
loyalty.
It's interesting because even
It's
Angus,
tough, though.
Angus has struggled to get that Roosters starting spot.
Yeah.
And Sims has literally been a reserve grade, up in the first grade, and then bench, and then starting. So
It is interesting
It's
how you
weird,
play
eh?
that
Yeah.
because there's if you're all playing first grade, loyalty's kind of all right. But if you're not even in the fucking comp,
Do you think
playing
they
high
would?
level.
Do you think they would start Murray and Liam Martin then? Because Liam Martin was off the bench, but at least
and he's in fucking.
But he's in great
form.
fucking form. Whereas AC's been coming off the bench. Tarek Sims not even in the side.
What about Kolamatangi and Olakau'atu? Like, do you think either of them are a realistic chance, or
think-
are they still sort of fringy?
no, I think Keon and Olakau'atu definitely are, and Olakau'atu because he's such a fucking big body.
Yeah.
And so I think that could be a real smoky.
I'd love
where-
to see that motherfucker in a skin tight blue shirt. Jeez.
Dude,
That's,
he
that's
would
what I
look
mean, and that's
good,
what's
bruh.
like that. When you think of Origin, like if I'm Queensland, who would I not want to pick? Who would I want you not to pick? Like Crichton at his best, he's fucking unbelievable. But like Olakau'atu playing really good footy, that's
Imagine having
scary on the edge.
Payne Haas, Junior Paulo, and Olakau'atu in the same fucking side.
Big boys.
terrifying.
I just like experience sometimes,
Yeah, I know.
dude.
And
The
defense
game's
as
so
well.
quick. It's like you got to have your fucking wits about you out there, dude.
I would go Crichton first game.
He's
So
fucking solid as a
Oh,
rock,
mate,
dude.
I'm not anti-
And if you put him in blue, if you drape him in blue again, bro, he'll do a fucking job.
Yeah,
mate.
Roosters aren't a good rugby league side, so he just needs to be in a good team, I think, Angus.
Put him in
and
that
he's playing.
system, and he
Yeah.
will not let you down.
No.
That's like you know what you're buying.
He's a victim of the shit
You know
side
what you're
he's
buying.
playing.
So
What do you got
last
there,
year, the back rows all stayed the same. So it was Sims and Murray every game. It was the front rows that kept changing. I think like Haas and Junior with game 1. Game 3 was Dale and Junior, and game 2 Jake Trbojevic started at prop. So those were the ones that cycled around a bit.
Jake still has to be picked as well on that bench.
I think what will happen is they'll most likely, I reckon, start Crichton because I agree with you. I like just the surety he brings. He's not going to play bad. He's not going to play. Tell me a game where Crichton's played poorly. You really can't find one. Or if you can, it's like few and far between. And then I think like maybe Olakau'atu, Jags, a bench spot to just like bring the young guy in because he's ceiling at Origin. You know, he just seems like a guy that could be made for Origin. So if he does go out and throbs, you've got this next big fucking, young up and coming thrower.
So heat him over Liam Martin.
Maybe. It's so
can
tough.
you leave Liam Martin out?
That's what I mean. I
Freddie's
don't
a
know.
penalty dick rider as well.
No, I mean, look,
And Liam Martin's like Origin tough, dude.
Let's look at our bench then. What
country
we've got.
tough, Origin tough.
Country tough.
Finucane's injured, so he won't
I
get
like
a bench
that you
spot.
said our bench.
Let's look at the bench. We
Turncoat.
got, so are you saying Jake Trbojevic definitely on the bench?
Definitely.
Yep.
Then we've got to have a 14. We'll just assume it's Whiten for
Yep.
that loyalty.
Then I think you have Junior Paulo
Or Campbell Gillard.
or Campbell Gillard,
Gillard.
and then Haas starts with Gillard or Paulo Gillard.
Okay, so we'll just say
Paulo and Huss start.
we'll say
Gillard on the bench.
RCG on the bench. That's
Yeah.
3.
Sure.
So you think Liam Martin takes that last spot?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, going to be interesting. Really, really
But
interesting.
like,
How the fuck how could Liam Martin miss out, I think is more the thing. Like Olakau'atu is, or a Kalamatangi or someone, like bringing in someone new, which I'm all for. I'm a big old sack rider for Hamole, but if you're going, firstly, loyalty, but then also like form, he's playing in the Penrith side, another Penrith player in the Penrith team, like it just
he's
sort of...
fucking ripping Liam Martin. It's like we won the series last year.
Yeah.
Like, do we need to fucking
do too much change.
Do we need to do a heap of change?
Maybe you bring in an Olakau'atu once we're 2-0 up, going into the third.
just breed him into it, bleed him into it.
Is there room for Frizzell in your teams?
No.
No, I don't think so.
He started the year really well. I just think injuries probably hurt his case just because you got so many throbbers. Like I agree with you. Like Liam Martin, he went well when he played last year. I just think that it's not as a set thing as maybe something.
And possibly not. And I'm with you. Like, Hamole on the bench, bro, is fucking scary. And he'll come on and rip motherfuckers apart. So, like, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-Hamole. Don't fucking think for a second that that's the case. I'm just trying to put my head inside Freddie's and be like,
Yeah.
what's he going to do?
What would be interesting
Like
is
take an acid, get
if
inside
Schuster was
Freddie's
fit.
Take a tab, dude.
If Schuster was fit, that makes it even more complicated because do you put him as your 14? Because he's such a big fucking body.
I reckon Schuster needs another year or two, dude.
He just needs to get
fucking
first grade.
really hot and humming.
Yeah, hot
You
and humming.
just
He hasn't
let
played
him
enough
fucking...
footy this year.
He was talked about last year.
He hasn't played enough footy this year.
He's worthy
That's
of being
what I'm
talked
saying if he
about.
was fit.
But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
he just needs to be pounding the fucking rugby league pavement week to week, 80 minutes, 80.
You got
Mate,
occasional legs.
He came on in the game on the weekend and had 2 try involvements in literally like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, dude, he's great.
he's
crazy.
He's a great.
That's I was
reserve
saying on
footballer.
Monday. If there is a way for Manly to like get around the no Tom factor, it's a Schuster superstar season. Like
Yeah.
he just breaks out and becomes the player we all think he can become.
Yeah, like just breaks into song and just dazzle everyone.
dazzle everyone. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, I'm blinded by the lights
Holy
weekend.
shit, but he's not.
He's actually
Because he can't see a
he's used to
fucking
being
thing.
blinded by the lights.
Exactly.
Can't see a
He's blind.
goddamn thing.
Do you have Jakey Turbo on your bench?
Yes, because I know he's done the job, but I do think that it's getting like, club form eventually will come into place when you've got so many. Put it this way, New South Wales have to make the choice of like, Jakey, he's done it so many times, he's such a good player, but you also do need to blood young guys because eventually Jakey's going to be too old. And do you have, if his form, let's say his form just stays the way it is, which has been solid, hasn't
He
been
was
bad.
man of the match in a losing side against Parramatta.
like
where
it
the
hasn't
game
been
was
bad at all.
stolen from us.
But sometimes they have to make the choice of like, we need to blood some young guys. And then that's when you start looking at who's not killing it at club, even though Jake has played really well.
How fucking old is Jake? I feel like we're talking about him like he's fucking on death's
He'd be
door.
27. 27, 28.
I like him in the. He can play in the middle. He can play high minutes. And
Tackle,
he can fucking
tackle his dick off. Snap
Exactly.
him in
Do
half,
the
play
dirty
the
stuff
ball.
and rotate the big boys.
I'm with you this year for sure, 100%. What I'm saying is
28.
that when you look at guys like, okay, we need to start blooding the next generation. That's when you start looking at your older players that may or may not be informed. You know what I mean? Like if there is some, like would you say the guys closest that would be, although that Freddie will be loyal and I agree that he should pick Martin, he should pick Trbojevic, they're probably two of the guys that would be discussed as like potentially being replaced.
I'd get rid of
what I mean?
Martin before Turbo.
Yeah, I know.
That has
You know what I'm
nothing to
saying?
do with
No,
your-
I know exactly what you're saying. Unfortunately for Jakey, he's the victim of fucking Yo being like one of the great locks all time, which is, has relegated him to sort of like, you're not an edge back rower, you're gonna have to play in the middle, try and rotate for the big forwards. I get that, but to your point, I'll be replacing Liam Martin before Turbo.
Because you guys said you'd go Haas, Paulo, and Haas, Paulo, and RCG. But what about Saifidi?
No.
I don't think. I think if you're going to make way,
I'd go Saifidi over RCG. That'd be it.
He was one of your best.
Saifidi hasn't been in very good form.
No, but
he's had a very slow season.
But
What I'm
him or
saying
RCG,
is
though.
Jakey is brought on as a front rower, correct?
Yes.
So the question that Freddie has to say is like, I can have a genuine like fucking big Saifidi body, or I can choose Jakey to like kind of hedge my bets just in case someone gets injured. Plus, he can also play front row. You know what I'm saying?
I think he
choose a
provides
specialist front
more, right? Because he can play front row, but he can play the ball and he'll tackle better than anyone on the
But
field.
like, okay, look at the makeup like this. Let's say they do pick Jackie Wyden. He absolutely can play lock for sure. So they don't need to cover that spot injuries because Jakey has that covered. So would you not go, okay, well, I'll get a specialist front rower because I already have 13 covered. Again, I'm not saying that Jakey shouldn't be selected. I think
Sounds
that
like, yeah.
he's absolutely earned the right to stay in there and he has been playing solid footy. I'm just saying that these questions would be asked at the selection table.
Well, like, is it more... I don't know what they're going to preference this year because the game's changed from last year. Like, is size going to be more important than mobility? I don't know.
It's interesting.
But Jake will go out there and make fucking 60 tackles on his ear and truck Nart. We know that.
And he's always played like I haven't seen him have a bad game at Origin.
No.
Always goes out and competes and kills it. And sometimes you need that guy that is just going to tackle his dick
But
off.
Queensland did that in the decade of dominance, or the 8 straight, whatever the fuck it was. Decade of dominance was Manly, sorry, separate thing. The 8 straight, where like they were picking players that their team was shit or their team wasn't performing well, but it was like, you've been here and you've done it. And that was a thing we all respected about Queensland during that period, where it was like, you've done it and you're in. Doesn't matter who the fuck you are or what the team form is.
I agree that the pick and stick thing for sure. But that they picked them because of a specific thing they brought. Like,
Yes.
for example, like a Dallas Johnson. He's not going to, like, the game plan was, like, he's not there for attack, he's there for defence. And that's what I mean with when you're picking Jake Trbojevic, you can go, the game plan isn't about defence for us. The game plan is we want big motherfucking bodies on the bench to come on and just blow them apart. Or you might be saying, like you said, we want Jakey to go on there, tackle his fucking dick off, which is, I think, the right decision in Origin. You need a balance of attacking defensive. I'm more just saying these are the questions that would be asked at selection table. What are we going for, boys? Like, what are we going for? A smaller Nico Hines? It's an incredible ball player, get points, or we already got enough points in us, so let's go Jackie Whiten because he's a bit bigger. It's all just about like how you want to play, and like Queensland perfected the art of like, we know exactly how we want to play. We want our edge-back rowers to just be fucking dogs that defend all day long. It's so important in Origin that your edge-back rowers make the right decisions, get the right numbers across, get pressure on the half. That's why it's sometimes a bit better to have smaller, wide-running forwards in Origin because they get line speed and put pressure on the ball player. So it's all just about the way you want to play. That dictates a lot of selection. And it's going to be interesting to see like what Freddie does.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I think
Fucking stinging.
It's like way more complicated, I think, than people give credit. Like as to selection process, it's not as simple as he's the best player, let's put him there. It's more like how do we want to play the game? And I think Freddie was a perfect example of that in game 1 last year. You could see he had made a point to play super high energy and fast, quick play the balls. Don't worry about post contact meters, all that kind of shit. Just get down, get up, go again. Get down and just be so quick that the bigger Queensland forwards like that aren't used to, like, I just think that the Queensland game plan in game one looked a bit dated, whereas I think Freddie's game plan for game one looked very modern, very new. He even said selection, he was selecting on speed, like we want really fast outside back, really fast centres. So, yeah, going to be interesting this year.
Billy Slater as a coach gets me horny. I hate Queensland and I hate everything about Queensland, but Billy Slater as a coach
he does.
gets
He knows
me
his
horny.
shit.
A retired Billy Slater hotter than the player.
Yeah. Him in a suit does something.
Bit of a beard sometimes
Does
now.
something.
Salt and pepper through the hair.
Yeah.
Commanding. This
Very
is what I want to
commanding.
do as a coach. Dude, fucking sign me up.
And he's handling the PR battle
dude.
real well.
He's confident. He seems calm, composed.
I don't know. The thing is, like, with guys like Billy, Smithy, and JT, it's like, okay, are they going to go on the same dominant run? We'll never probably see that again. But are you telling me they, over the next 2 to 3 years, they can't G the boys up just to get one series win? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if they're not good coaches, just to get the boys up.
Well, you guys
to
have
the
a good
game.
enough team or a good enough people
Especially
to be
this year,
picked.
I think.
You guys have a good enough side to be picked, and obviously, luckily enough for you, two of the greatest players all time for New South Wales not available. You guys can definitely...
I think people are underestimating how
Drag a
much
series.
that it loss is. If you go back and you look at that series, the amount of times they broke the game open purely from incredible talent, solo shit, was crazy.
Mate, it's a fucking massive loss that they're not playing.
Yeah.
Massive loss. And you're right, Billy Slater does get you up and about. Like, the way he speaks, I'm like, ooh, bruh, you got a bit about you, mate. And then you layer that with Cameron and Thurston, obviously. It's like, it's
and Josh Hannay, you fuck.
And Hannay. It's imposing. And an assistant coach in Dennis Cam.
And the beat.
Yeah.
Assistant coach.
Assistant coach.
But I still think that with a bloke called Nathan Cleary, that we're just...
Yeah, we fuck you.
Well, I think we fuck you up.
I will say, I think this year, the argument of Queensland saying that we don't have the squad and rah-rah, I don't think that's...
You can't say that, mate.
Not this year.
No.
I don't think so.
No
we
way.
have too many players in form. Whereas last year, you genuinely could sit there and go, bro, like, look at our squad. Like, we're getting guys.
Well, but
that are
that's just like a weak Queensland mentality, though. To like
We
make
never thought
excuses
that.
before the comp starts.
We
you know what I mean?
literally,
that.
some of your biggest pundits literally said we had the weakest side. We tell you that.
We're weak.
When we were deep in that winter, we kept believing.
We thought we'd win every single time. What did Gallen say? He's like, I thought I'd win every series. Now, it didn't happen that way, unfortunately, for Gal. He didn't have...
No,
But he did win one.
We did win.
I honestly think this year, especially with Tommy and Trell out, that it's essentially 50-50. Like, as in the teams, for me personally, stack up essentially 50-50. Maybe, I mean, even front row. Like, you've got Papali'i and... Fuck, I've forgotten again now.
It's probably
Tino.
going to...
Collins, Tino...
Carrigan.
I
Do you
really
want to
think...
name the fucking Queensland side for you, Denon?
The thing is like, I think that the only thing that New South Wales have over us on paper is experience in the forward pack. Outside of that, nothing else.
You going to pick Cobbo on the wing?
Mate, I wasn't a couple of weeks ago. It's getting harder to ignore.
Throbbo.
The Throbbo, far out. How good's he going?
He's good.
Holy shit.
I had him 2 tries in the weekend. You're
Did ya?
welcome. Yep.
Mate, he was
Yeah.
outrageous on the weekend.
Throbbo. Great name as
It's
well.
a great name.
Selwyn Throbbo.
Selwyn Throbbo, dude.
And just to be clear, Hello Sport, you were the first to say that, correct?
Yeah.
Let's be real clear about that.
Throbbo is our word.
Yeah.
So Throbbo.
Well, but Throbbo as well.
put it
Calling
this-
him Throbbo
I've seen
and
it a lot in
Throbbo.
comments, and we
Yeah.
just want to put a flag in the ground, a HSB flag.
Yep. Here it is.
It started with HSB,
HSB
guys.
here first.
Line in the sand.
Yep.
You can say
You
it
can
after.
use it.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey,
You can
Go
use it,
for it.
but just know where it came from.
it's all about etymology, punters and dribblers, and that's basically the origin of words. And Throbbo started with us because Throbber started with us, and Throbbo literally started with us. Not that I'm looking for any credit. Denon brought that up. That was quite nice of him. But reality is that the etymology of Throbber...
Started right here, baby.
Yeah.
Right here.
So I just wanted to make that very clear.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, and look,
appreciate
thank
that.
you for doing that. That's really
No,
kind
that's
of
nice.
you.
I feel
Very
like
nice.
I'm a
Ponga at
thoughtful guy.
fullback?
Gotta
Yes,
be, doesn't
surely.
he?
He's actually in some good form as well. Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty good all year, but
I
like,
don't think he's been fucking that bad.
Well,
I think he's just as a victim of
spoke
the
to-
side.
He's in a pretty ordinary outfit in terms of the way
s-
they're playing.
I spoke to Cam about this.
Oh, did ya?
And
Your
he-
mate Cam?
I met Cam.
Your boss, yeah.
Hey, I'm fucking cool with that.
Yeah,
Cam's-
and you say you should be.
He basically said Billy's really excited to work with Kalen. So like Billy sees it as a great opportunity to fucking get the best out of Kalen.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think Billy Slater and him working together, that excites me.
That's
Yeah.
frightening.
Yeah. it
Fucking
is.
look what he's done with
Pappenhausen.
the snack, and then also Hughes before that.
It's
then
right.
Scotty Drinkwater came up under Billy Slater.
Shout out to Scotty Drinkwater.
How good is he? Talk about Throbo.
Scotty Twinkwater.
Twinkwater.
Because he's smooth as fuck.
He is smooth as fuck. Or Drink Bloke.
Or Drink Bloke. Twink Bloke.
I don't like saying that because I feel a bit like I shouldn't be using his name to, like, you know what I mean? Push the beer.
Well,
It was a
we
bit weird.
started that as well.
I
So
did-
it's
that's-
all right.
yeah.
You can.
That's
But
again.
people like comment, like say that, and I'm like, oh, I feel a bit bad doing that because it's like, anyway.
Nah, don't worry.
It is
about
his name though. At the end of the day,
Drink Bloke, yeah.
Drink Bloke. So what are you going to do
are
about
you
it?
gonna do?
But like Billy Slater, mate, what the fuck? He's gonna. I'm worried about Ponga in Origin. I really am for that very reason.
Now, Hooker in 14.
Well, Hooker's Harry Grant, right?
Yeah.
And your 14's
You
got to
play
be
Ben Hunt?
Got to be Ben Hunt.
So you don't play Grant 80 then, do you reckon? That's
Well, could you have Grant play 80, but he moves into the back row? When
Has
Ben Hunt
Grant
comes
ever
on?
played 80 in Origin?
I don't think he's played 80. He came off the bench on his debut.
Could he play back row though?
He could play 13 for sure.
Yeah, so
for sure,
like-
even back row.
you
So
know
I
what
kind
I
of
mean?
built like cheese a little bit. But that then comes in the argument of if you've already got an 80-minute hooker, where does Bruce come into the game? Does he come in at 13?
Bruce?
Sorry, Benny Hunt.
Who the fuck is
That's
Bruce?
his nickname, Bruce.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was like, Jesus.
Like-
shout out to my granddad. He was called Bruce.
Do
You've
you
got
like?
Brimo
But
that
do
could
you
play
like?
14. You could even
You
put
can't. But
Reece
Hunt was
Cotter.
man of. He's the
No, I
Queensland best
agree. But
player,
that's what
right?
I'm saying. That's what I'm
I
saying.
fucking like Ben Hunt.
I think he
I think
kills it
he's
at Origin.
fucking great, and he's always been unbelievable in Origin.
I'll throw a curveball. Game 3 last year, Hunt played 9, and he was fucking outstanding.
Yeah, he was.
Do you start Hunt and bring Grant off the bench?
Yep.
Like his debut year where he came off the bench
And
and,
he
ripped
ripped,
your
yeah.
dick off.
Yeah, you could
I don't mind
100%.
that.
You could 100% do that.
Yeah.
I actually think Ben Hunt's a better 9 than he is a 7, but that's a different conversation. At least in Origin, he's fucking ripped it.
Oh,
A
at
dummy half,
Origin,
dude.
he's such a good 9. It's a joke. It's I guess that's my question for you is like, I want Benny and Grant getting as much game time as possible. So I don't want them taking time from each other. You know what I mean? I don't want Ben Hunt coming on for 10 minutes. I want him on the field for like, good 30,
I don't
40
think
minutes.
they'd use him that way.
Yeah.
I don't think. They'd be mad to, the way he's performed.
Do you
in the
reckon they
past.
could start him and then bring off Grant as impact?
100%.
It would be a bit of a curveball.
I think it'd work.
I actually like it.
He was a big reason for you winning that third game.
Mate,
last year.
without Grant, with Benny Hunt, 100%.
Yeah.
But in the series where the last one that we did win, without Grant, we don't win that game in Queensland.
Didn't count that one, but I know what you're saying.
So I actually think, because Grant, what does he bring? He brings incredible ball running, like crazy explosive, strong as fuck. I just want him energized. I want Grant doing all the good, fun stuff, all the attack stuff. I don't want him doing all the shit tackles in defence, getting him tired. Whereas Brucey, bit older, been there. But it's an interesting thing. I think that the Queensland will genuinely consider that option of Hunt starting, whereas I think a lot of Queensland fans probably just say, yeah, Grant 80 minutes, put him in there. Whereas I think they might actually use Grant as impact, which I think could work.
I don't mind it. Do you have space for AJ Brimson? You don't. You don't have space for AJ.
He played
Brimson.
so good.
I know. When he played, he
Yeah.
was sick.
Well,
You don't
that's-
have space for him, though.
Well, I know you don't, because if Benny Hunt didn't play so good at Origin, you could consider it. But because Ben Hunt is so good at Origin, especially in that 9 role, going to be real tough to get Brimo in there. So yeah, unfortunately, I think it'd probably just be like 18th or 19th man.
Could he ever play anywhere like outside back-ish?
You probably couldn't play wing, and we've already got really good wingers as it is. And then we've got the
Who are your
centres.
wingers? Throbo, potentially.
Potentially Throbo or Coates and Oates. Then you've got Talangi. You've
You
got.
reckon Oates will get a go? Coates
Oh.
will.
Coast for sure.
I would pick Oates over Coates right now.
Really?
Would ya?
Yeah, with form.
I
Yeah.
like that you mentioned Oates, though, because he has just always performed well in the rep sides as well. Like, he
Yeah.
sort of fell out of fucking went in the rugby league wilderness a little bit when he was trying to play back row. I think maybe he had some injuries. But he is, like, super dependable, and he is playing well.
He's playing outstanding. He's
But
almost
he
having-
probably isn't as athletically gifted as Coates.
No.
But the concern I have with Coates over the last few weeks is he's been really quiet, and that's games where you want them to really step up, get through a lot of work. Now I understand, game plans, all that kind of stuff. Whereas Oates, he's been outstanding this year, altogether, every single game. And so I just wonder,
Has he been good when Broncos have been bad? 'Cause
Yeah.
I guess, like how we've spoken before about sometimes wingers are at the mercy of the quality of their side.
Yep.
Or the quality of the performance. So like with Coates, if Melbourne are getting rimmied 30 points every fucking game, that's maybe difficult for him to do anything.
Well, I'll give you his stats for this year, and then we'll go to Coates' stats for the year. So his average running meters is 175.
This is Oates?
This is Oates, yep. He's only missed 11 tackles, and saying that he's missed 17, so it's not that great. He's had 10 line breaks. He scored 10 tries in 11 games.
Fuck, that's pretty solid.
Averaging, as I said, 175 metres. So basically a try game, averaging 175 metres a game, and also averaging a line break a game.
That's horny.
Now we'll go to Coates, who is in a Melbourne side who before last 2 weeks had the record amount of points scored this year.
They were eating people alive.
Killing people. He has 10 tries, 8 line breaks, 51 tackles, 13. So his defence is better, and he has 96 running metres. So nearly half of Coates.
So the running meters are the concern there. As many tries, as many line breaks, or a few less?
A couple less line breaks, so 2 less line breaks,
But
same
it's the
amount of
meters.
tries. Well,
It's the meters.
Yeah, it's the metres that are substantially less.
Because you need your wingers to truck nut in
Yes.
State of Origin.
And Corey Oates does truck a lot.
He'll
of nut.
truck.
So it is an interesting conversation to have. What I like about Coates is he's so young and athletically gifted like crazy. Initially, I had Oates and Coates in the wing because I thought Selwyn wait another year or two. I'm still of the mind of Coates and Oates. But if Selwyn keeps playing like this, it's almost like, bro, you just can't
leave him out.
Can't leave him out. He's too good.
Yeah, but it's hard to look past wingers whose names rhyme.
That is true.
I've always said that. Dude.
I've said that.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Rhyming wingers' names,
It's always good.
it's a recipe for some success,
Yep.
some success.
Any Smokies, boys? Any Smokies for Origin, New South Wales or Queensland?
Nanai, Jeremiah Nanai.
Yeah, yep.
He's sort of smoky. He's
Yeah.
killing it, but he's still sort of a smoky.
Yeah.
And I guess Ruben Cotter, who is also sort of a smoky, but I think he'll
I
probably
think he's a
be
lock.
picked. Yeah, he's a lock.
Lock him in.
Olakuatu, Smoky, Kolomatangi, potentially.
Talangi, a bit of a smoky.
Talangi.
Queensland.
Yeah. Dude,
Yep.
he's a fucking
He's a gun.
freak.
Yeah.
His finishing ability is
Crazy.
is insane. Just the way he launches from 10 metres out from the
He
line.
must. Kyle
If
Felt.
not further, dude.
Yeah.
He must have
Maybe 20 metres.
Could be 25.
20, 30, 40, 50.
50 metres.
I've seen him go from 50. I swear. I swear on my mum.
I swear on my mum. Remember how sacred that used to be?
That used to be like a fucking...
Bro, I swear on my mother's
Oi,
life. Bro.
dude, I swear. I really do you?
Swear on God, bro.
Swear on your mum's life. Swear on your mum's life.
Do it.
So you can't swear,
can't
you
do it.
fucking liar.
Fucking liar.
Yeah.
I don't do that, man. I don't swear on that shit, man.
Look at the risk my mum's life
Yeah,
over a
fuck this
fucking...
fucking stupid thing, man. Basketball game. Fuck you.
Any other smokies? Keon, I think, is a smoky. I think Campbell Graham is a smoky for a centre spot. Same with Lomax.
Yeah, I think Lomax is a smoky, although it depends who you speak to. I think he's fucking rock solid and defensively very sound. But a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? What are you smoking? So I don't know. I don't know how Freddie sees him.
He has the misfortune at the moment. Like the Dragons have been so up and down that he's just not getting appreciated. But if you go back and watch Lomax over the last couple of years, any attack the Dragons have had has literally been...
He can do some crazy shit in attack.
Yeah.
I think he's just behind Crichton and Staggs. So it's just more... I think it's more like theirs to lose.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good, boys.
Yeah, cool,
great
man.
chat.
Good
Now,
chat.
Hey, great chat, dude.
great chat, guys.
Hey,
Really
dude,
great
really good chat.
Good to talk.
Now, so
talk.
David Riccio on
saw this
David
one,
Fifita's contract has come out and said it's a $1.2 million car crash. It has been horrendous.
That's not fair.
That is crazy, in my opinion. We're going to have to respectfully disagree, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts first on that.
He has not necessarily played like a $1.2 million player, but the reality is that everyone knew that when they were getting him, they were paying overs intentionally because they couldn't attract anyone. And you would argue, or you could argue, that having him has helped attract players to the club. So has it been a car crash? He hasn't won fucking Dally M back row of the year, and they aren't in the top 8, but they have got good players, and they do, despite their results, seem to be building a good side. They did fuck up letting Fogarty go.
Mate, exactly. You got to remember, it was a 2-year deal. That was it. It was designed to attract talent, as you say. Was fucking Folau going to be a great AFL player when he played for GWS? No. but he's signed for like marketing. Like sometimes there are different reasons on rare occasion.
To call it a car crash would imply
And they
he's
literally
played no
couldn't
games.
sign fucking anybody before he went there. You remember that? Everyone was like, nah.
And I've heard people say, and I haven't been running through David's stats with a fine-tooth comb like I do every other player in the competition. For some reason, I must have missed David. But I've heard people say, like, if he was being paid $750,000 a year, say, his stats would be like, oh, he's playing all right.
Playing well. I want to read you his stats from last year.
There you go. Here
we go.
Sorry,
This is what we
someone's
want.
about to back up my theories.
So
Back it up.
he played 22 games. He scored 17 tries. 17 tries. That's a record. It's like
It's the most since Steve Menzies, who scored
Steve
more.
Menzies. And he's in the top 3 all-time forwards for scoring tries, or at least back rows, but I think it's forwards. 17 tries. He had 22 line breaks. 22 line breaks. He had 44 offloads. And then he was averaging 125 metres. And he had statistically, by far, his best year of his career. So much so, he averaged, and I know NRL fantasy isn't the only way to measure things, but it does measure stats. He averaged 10 more fantasy points a game than any year at the Broncos. So to say that is a car crash, in my opinion, it is just statistically and factually incorrect.
That is all pure
But
emotion.
surely
and
Riccio
Mayo.
can fucking look that up.
But it's Mayo season, dude.
It's look,
That's Mayo
I think
season.
it's getting caught up in that. Like, I think there's a lot
Yeah,
of
it is. But car crash?
Yeah, but that's what Mayo is. That's the essence of Mayo. That there is whole egg Mayo.
That's
is
whole egg,
That's
dude.
whole egg.
That is premium
primo
mayo.
Mayo.
Premium
Buzz
Mayo.
is like, where'd you get that?
Bottle
shit?
it,
yeah.
bottle it and sell it.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude, that's fucking $30 a jar, that shit.
Yeah, man. That's
it this way.
that's at a farmer's market sort of fucking
100%.
really pure Mayo.
Straight from the mayonnaise tree, dude.
Yeah.
And you know, if, as you said, if he was on 600 to 700K, we would be sitting here saying, what a year from David Fifita. Like, what a year. But this 1.2 million, the context of the signing of even like little things, like Gold Coast Titans has the smallest fan base in the comp. All of this comes
Small
into...
in the Broncos?
Way smaller than the
Okay,
Broncos.
sorry.
Are you sure?
On par with Manly.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought Broncos-
I thought you were started coming last after you won the spoon. Everyone just
No,
abandoned the
I
club.
think we're actually still number
just
one.
dropped off.
We still had the literal biggest crowds and we were coming last.
They didn't drop off.
They did drop off. We still had the biggest. That's how big we are. They dropped off, still bigger than you.
Right. So people have been. It's not surprising.
Chat bench.
And so it's just the context of the signing, as you said, was the fact that they were struggling to get names to the club. They also, they're trying to build out a fan base. Dave Fifita, the amount of shirts he would have sold, tickets he would have sold, memberships he would have sold, all of those things. On top of that, it was essentially, I'm pretty sure, a 2-year deal. So he's not going to stay on 1.2 million.
No.
What, has it lived up to that price tag? No, I don't think anyone would say that. But was anyone really expecting a back rower to live up to a $1.2 million price
It's just
tag?
not possible, right?
How does that happen?
He's not the ball player. He's
Look,
not fucking...
Here's a perfect example. Payne Haas he is doing things we've never seen a front rower do before. Is he worth $1 million? Probably not, because he's where he did all the things that he was doing, and we weren't playing finals footy. And so what it's saying is even Payne Haas, who was doing historical numbers at front row, he can only do so much. He can only do so much. It is your halves, your fullback that really can. They're the ones that can contribute to the game enough to justify a 1.2 or $1 million.
Yeah,
price
car
tag.
crash is a wild fucking...
Crazy. Absolutely
It's
crazy.
whole egg, dude,
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
whole
outrageous.
That's whole egg.
It's
And look
absolutely
at the-
outrageous. Yeah, fuck. He hasn't influenced the game as much as Nathan Cleary. Shock fucking horror.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected that. And even if you wanted to be fully okay, yes, even it hasn't even lived up to 700K. Yeah, fair enough. But to say car crash, that's just I
But
think
also,
that's factually
again,
correct.
now he's at the club. When his contract comes up, you got a better chance that he's going to stick around. He's got his roots in there. It hasn't fucked their salary cap.
No.
You know, it hasn't been somewhere it's been like, fuck, they spent all this money and now they haven't been able to afford other players. Like, they've actually been able to still keep players, bring players on.
Yep.
Again, they fucking let Fogarty go. That was dumb because
Yeah.
now they've got Foreign.
That smashed them.
But other than that...
And also them as a club, look at over the last couple of years since Meninga came in, and the cultural advisor, as in the footy club cultural advisor, look at the different position the Titans are as a club. Yes, I know they've struggled this year, but they got some of the best young halves in the comp. They got one of the best young fullbacks in the comp. Their forward, Tino is one of the best young forwards in the comp. Do you think Tino goes to the club if Fifita's not there? I don't think so.
Old mates from school.
I don't think
mates
so.
from
I
school.
don't reckon he leaves the Storm. No way.
Well, at the very least, he goes to
Somewhere
a different
else,
club.
yeah.
The tide will turn.
Yeah, the tide will turn. So I just disagree with that statement, and I think that I think Fifita, although he hasn't delivered $1.2 million on the field for what he was brought there for, which was to get fans on board, to contribute to them making the finals. Like, yes, they didn't have the best year last year, but they did make the finals last year. And also him scoring 17 tries and averaging 125 metres a game, plus 44 offloads in the season. Plus, I think he led the NRL in tackle breaks for last year. Could you check that for us? I disagree. I put it this way. I think last year, purely on the field, not including all the bringing fans in and that, he probably was worth around 600 to 700K.
7.1 tackle breaks a game last year.
7.1 tackle breaks a game. A game.
Car crash.
Yeah, that's incredible. Now, Fox Sports, we've got Fox Sports talking points. This is basically where we get their talking points, we agree or we disagree. Should TPJ, Tavita Pangai Jr., play in the middle rather than on the edge? Cooper Cronk says he's much better there.
Whatever Cooper says goes.
I haven't been following TPJ with a fine-tooth comb.
Shock horror.
Shock. Victim of where he's playing, unfortunately. But I'll trust Cooper.
Yeah.
If that's the way Cooper sees it.
Trusting Coops.
Dude, I
Mate,
trust Coops, bro.
I worship the altar of Cooper Cronk.
Mate, basically anything he says goes, in my opinion. Look, you might be like, calm down, Eddie, but I can't.
Can't do
He
it.
makes me feel
Who
a
do you
certain
trust
way.
more, Cooper or Billy?
Whoa.
Cooper. Cooper.
Well, it depends what you...
Cooper. Billy's the origin coach, dude. Bad juju.
Cooper. But Billy's...
Billy's hot. Cooper's smarter.
Billy has a track record of creating the next best in his position.
I think it's
That's fine,
I think
but
it's
Cooper's
clear
smart. I
to
mean,
all
Cooper's
in
smart.
sundry that Billy's ability to pass on knowledge is almost unrivaled.
But Cooper's ability to convey
argue,
the knowledge in his brain, I think. Like him and Matty John's breaking down rugby league. Like,
it's God's gift.
bruh, I can just sit down with a bottle of lube and work myself to that.
Well, that's what I do every week. I
Yeah.
work myself into an absolute state,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know if they've fucking done one last week or this week, rather. And
No, they have. I started listening to it when I was
thank
hopping into
God.
bed last night, Eddie, but there's still time. We can listen to the rest of it when we finish here.
Every time I see Matty, I'm like, mate, great show. Great show. I'm
fucking
pushing it. I'm like, I want him to do as
phenomenal
much
show.
as possible.
Dude,
So
him,
good.
should
and,
be doing it every
him and
week.
Cooper need to do something all year, even in summer. Just talk about the nuance of fucking
It's got to be
being a
nuanced
half.
rugby league, though. You can't let him get...
No. Talk about the nuances of rugby league, specifically the halves.
You want to know who else is actually really fucking smart? Is Matty Johns. He knows
Yeah, dude.
he knows shit about like world history, like obscure parts of the world. He can be like, they had a prime minister in fucking 1963 that, there was a huge famine or some shit. You know what I mean? Like he can call up facts from...
He's well read.
You can tell he's intelligent, though, I think.
I feel like most really funny people have to be kind of intelligent. He's extremely funny, last of the
I
test
think
of
it
time.
probably allows and helps for things that you can draw upon to make jokes about as well, or just to like inform your humour. That would be my thought with Matty, because he is funny as fuck.
He's funny. Is he one of the best storytellers there is?
You'd go close.
Evie, yeah, he's in the conversation, right?
He's on the comeback.
He's in
sure.
the conversation. So, how do you see the TBJ thing? Do you agree with Coops?
I agree, man. I think you bring him off the bench, you say, mate, simplify your job. I just want you to run as hard as fuck. And as soon as you start getting tired, we'll get you off and we'll bring you back on and you do it again. Because when he's running hard, he is truly a rugby league mouthful. Truly a rugby league mouthful. When he gets a bit caught up in all having to defend heaps and all that kind of stuff,
Goes back to a handful.
goes back to it's still a handful to a degree.
Sometimes not even a handful.
No, you're right.
Sometimes just a fingerful.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah, just a couple of
Or
pinch.
just like an iPhone.
pinch.
a pinch.
A rugby league pinch.
I like it. I just get him in there, get him angry and aggressive. Because we saw against the Tigers, as soon as Tavita Pangai Jr. came on, he literally bumped 4 blokes, offloaded, they scored. Dragons, do you think they found their fullback in Ramsey? Did you watch Ramsey on the weekend? He was outstanding.
Like that. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Dragons sometimes.
I don't at all.
You don't have a soft spot?
No.
What clubs do you have a soft spot for?
You know what? And I'm going to be honest here. Today, tonight, this year,
Yeah, you do. Oh, he's going to say it.
Broncos.
Yeah.
He's going to say it.
I do. I like Adam Reynolds. I like Throbo. I like Kurt Capewell. I like Payne Haas. I like your players, dude. I hate you and I hate Brisbane and I hate the club, but I like the players.
Okay.
Sharks I got a soft spot for.
I think everyone.
I've got a soft spot for Penrith. Always have.
I'm now getting a little one for the. I was getting a little one for the Tigers. It's gone because you can't really have a soft spot for a DMC. It was only when they pumped the Eels that I was like pumped one last minute. But I think that's probably where it stays.
I used to have, like I sort of do with the Knights, comes and goes.
When they're good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of a soft spot when you're good. I didn't have a soft spot for you guys last year. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be doing
It's
something.
just the Knights are a bit pathetic when they're losing.
Yeah.
I've got a soft
They
spot
feel
when
sorry
lose.
for themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
oh,
bit,
shit,
a bit
you know?
defeatist or something.
So, yeah. But no, I hate the Dragons.
Wow. Okay.
Good on you, Ramsey.
I
Ramsey's
don't
cool.
hate them. I hate
like,
South. I hate the Eels.
I like Tyrell Sloan, though.
You know what
Soft spot for the Warriors.
I'm loving the
'Cause
Penny
it's 'cause they
Panthers.
try.
Like, I love the Penny Panthers journey because, like, they came up as the young hot boys that everyone loved. They became too dominant. Now they're all arrogant and young, getting ahead of themselves. I love that they've just gone, we don't give a fuck. We're going to towel you up, score points, win games,
I have a
and
soft
win
spot for them
prems.
as well.
I really like the Penrith
I always
boys.
have.
Yeah.
I like their mentality of, like, we're not going to change.
I got a
and
soft spot for the Storm when they're full strength.
my-
You know, I do. I can't help it.
I don't like the Storm.
I hate the Storm, dude. But when
It's grudging
Pappenhausen's
respect.
doing his
It's
fucking
grudging
thing,
respect.
like
It's respect.
Yeah, it's respect.
I respect the fuck out of them, but they fucking piss me off.
Yeah.
They're too consistent. They're always in and around. I'm like, just fuck off for a season
Yeah.
or two. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking leave us alone for a little bit.
I think
They're annoying.
Munster and Pappenhausen are very, very hard to hate.
Dude, Munster, like, again,
Cheese as
get
well.
the fucking lube out, dude. Holy
Cheezel.
shit.
What about
Cheese, Grant,
Cheese,
Pap, they're
incredible.
all fucking thoroughbreds.
Yeah, Grant,
dude.
legend as well.
Yeah.
Legend as well. Actually, there was an article recently about basically saying that Storm have got it right because, as you see, the Storm are struggling without Hughes and Pappenhausen. Do you agree or disagree?
I was
As in
thinking
got it right
about
with the
that.
Munster
I was
situation.
thinking about
It's
that where it
interesting.
was like Munster was fucking ripping and then Hughes and Paps out.
And the article did back it up with statistics as well. Which
I was thinking
don't
about
necessarily
that.
agree
I
with.
was like, I wonder whether, obviously, Munster, when it comes to the Dolphins, is still like holds all the cards and he can probably still ask whatever he wants. But seeing the last couple of weeks happen, you're like, oh, this is where you probably should have stood up and taken the game by the scruff of the sack, young fella.
Scruff of the dick.
But he didn't. And I'm not putting it all on him, but like, you know, has his stock gone down even if slightly? Like,
I just want to see the thing that is tough though is like
That's
I
a bit
want to
tough.
see Hughes without Pappenhausen and Munster.
Yeah.
So for example, the stats that they provided, they were like Hughes without Munster has a higher winning percentage, but did they take into account that Pappenhausen is also out?
which is fair.
Which is like, so to use just percentages and be like, well, he's got a better winning percentage, so he's worth more. It's like, it's a bit unfair because you've got to counter in like, who else was out?
not telling the full
Who were
tale.
they playing? Was it the starters? All these other factors. At the moment, I disagree, as well as is that Hughes is essentially in his 2.5 year of like high quality footy. Munster's been doing this shit for quite a while now.
What I also think is crazy is the conversations around like, well, fuck, 2 big losses for the Storm. Like, are they coming back to the pack finally? It's like, no, dude. Before those 2 losses, they beat a team by 70 points.
Yeah.
They aren't coming back to the pack. They have 2 of their fucking most important players
and
out.
Nas and Christian Walsh.
Yeah, like, don't say that anymore. Don't say the Storm are like, oh, is this it? Is it finally it? No, it's not just fucking happening. They've got injuries.
7-1
It's almost like scary.
and 8.
Because
Or 10.
if you get an angry Storm, you know what I mean? Like a Storm that has felt like, fuck, we got tailed up. That's almost scarier.
They're
going
going to
into
get
the season.
fucking pumped
And they're going to
one
get
more
pumped by
time.
Manly.
One more time.
So we threw in the chop, which is not good for the
That's
rest
not
of the
good for them
league.
at all.
When all things come together, Manly's in for a pounding.
No, dude.
No
we're
way.
getting ready
Hughes
to
won't
pound.
play, dude. We're
Manly all got the
fucking-
Pound Town ones on.
Yeah,
We
we
got
got the Pan Am
we
ones.
got
$19 for a 13 plus.
They got the Storm have got the toe shoes on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
I
And they're going to get laughed out of the game.
Because they don't give a fuck.
Well, they're not
You're
going
going
to
to laugh out of the game.
They're going back to their roots of like strong feet.
No, they're not strong.
They're
Feet.
getting
Your
laughed
feet
out
are
again.
weaker in those things, bro. I'll tell you for sure.
Way weaker, dude.
Yeah, so I still believe, I just want to see the Storm. I want to see Hughes, how he would go without Pappenhausen and Munster before I would make that choice. I still think Munster's the guy there.
Fair.
Fair enough, bro.
The back end of last year proved a big change in Mitchell Moses' career. Do you think Mitchell Moses has... I understand they've been a bit inconsistent, but Mitchell Moses hasn't been inconsistent. Matter of fact, their loss to the Roosters, he was outrageous, and I know that he sunk your hopes. Just quickly, do you think...
Ben Cummins is the worst referee of all time. After
do
Ashley
you
Klein,
think the tackle from
both of them are working on
Tui
that game.
Pelotu should have been penalised?
No, I don't. I think he slips.
Yeah?
That's what I think.
Well, he does slip. Not even a think. It's not about thinking. You can think whatever you want.
Well,
The man slipped.
but...
You look at Tui Pelotu was basically fucking going in at the guy's ankles and he slipped. Like,
Ready to
you
jam.
can't get any lower.
He was taking him to Pound Town.
The problem is...
Pound Town on, he wouldn't have slipped.
The problem is that the way that it's being officiated is that any contact with the head is a penalty, right? So I understand that. I appreciate that. But there is... It's not right that what the fucking player being tackled has done contributed to it. Like the tackler has got low and he's going to put on one of the great hits in the history of the game.
He's actually like pretty fucking low.
That's what I mean. He got low.
Like he's not.
I know.
He's low as fuck.
I'm with you. And I also, like, people that are like, it's contact with the head. That's consistent with the rules. Like, there is contact with the head nearly in every single tackle. So that whole idea of, like, as soon as it's contact with the head, it's a penalty and we're being consistent.
We
It's
did
not
that
true.
magic round and it was a disaster.
Yeah, exactly. But also, literally 3 or 4 tackles later, RCG gets swinging forehand in the head.
And nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the ref uses discretion. I think in that case, the ref absolutely should have used his discretion and been like, he fully slipped over. What is Tui Pelotu supposed to do there?
Especially in a try-saving, like,
that's
he
what I mean.
has to throw his fucking...
And also...
What is he going to pull out and go, oh, no.
And the context of the game
Like,
as well.
fuck.
It's like, I'm not going to allow this game to be decided by something that Tui Pelotu, he cannot change anything there. Tui Pelotu, his first contact was on the shoulder.
Yep.
It goes like this across his head because he falls over. So the first contact was his shoulder. Now people, because on Monday I was like, I haven't even seen evidence that there's contact with the head.
No, they didn't even show it during the game.
During the game they didn't. Now people have sent me pictures that show he did slide up to his neck and then slid over.
Grazed his fucking head.
But the initial contact was absolutely shoulder to shoulder. And so that's where I'm like, surely the discretion should be like, what is Tui Pelotu supposed to do there?
That fucking game. The end of that game.
What's the medical, like, what's happening to the head if all the contact's in the shoulder and then you slip up? Surely there's not a heap happening.
No, but like it's hard to... You can't be going up like that. I think leaves it just too grey. But you have to be able to see that if the person being tackled contributed to the situation, that like basically took it out of the hands of the defender and slipped over. Get better boots, Pound Towns.
But I'm layering them on top of each other, right? The slip into most of the contact was taken on the shoulder.
Yeah, but you can't see that and judge whether how much pressure was it? How much did the initial contact take off the hit to the head? It's just more going. He slipped. The cunt slipped.
I just think like there has to be some responsibility on the attacker. Like, because what option are you giving to a Pelotu? Does he have to assume that he might slip, go even lower, and then all of a sudden it's like...
And then he gets a knee to the head and he gets KO'd.
It's just like you're expecting the defender to read the attacker's mind. Like you're expecting him to go, oh, he might slip, I better go lower. Like, no. Like
he might step back in. We've had pretty consistent drizzle the entirety of the game. Don't know what size studs he's using. Might slip over, so I'm going to low...
Expecting... Like, that was a clear case of a slip. Like, clear. There was no like, oh, he kind of slipped or whatever. Everyone could see.
No, he slipped.
So I disagree with that call.
And it probably cost us a game.
And he ironed him out.
It's a great shot.
One of the great ironings all
I just think that like it was ironic because three tackles later, he fully gets RCG gets forearm to the head. You can see it on the big screen, but the ref goes, "I know that you just stayed down to get that, so I'm not going to give it to you." And it's like, why didn't you use that same discretion when? Anyway,
because
it's very
it was
puzzling.
Ben Cummins and Ashley Klein, and their
they
powers
hate the club.
combined
They hate the club.
they hate Manly.
Yeah, they do.
They hate the
Allegedly,
club.
obviously.
I think as people,
Allegedly.
I'm sure they're great people, right? Great friends, family members.
I don't think they intentionally.
As
made that call.
referees, though, they are awful.
I don't think they intentionally made that call.
I don't think they intentionally made it. I think they're just not good at their job.
I disagree with you there. I think that the direction from above has made it so hard to ref. Imagine, okay, so you go down to the refs and you say, we want you to ping every contact head high. And they're sitting there going, there is contact to the head nearly in every single tackle. Like if you watch every tackle, you will see like they'll get hit there, then a forearm will come across there. Like it's in nearly every tackle. And the ref is expected to be like, I can't call every contact to the head because then the game literally would stop nearly every set. So I have to make this crazy judgment call of like, it's contact to the head. That's enough to give it. It's not enough to give it. Not only do I have to give a penalty, I've got to send people to 10 them in. I think they've created a whole environment for refs that's too hard to handle. Like, I think the directive has been unfair on the refs, and the refs are being unfairly scrutinised, because I understand, like, okay, put it this way. If he didn't have that directive, he didn't call a penalty. He said play on. It was the bunker that said into his ear, got to give that as a penalty.
Ashley Klein.
So the ref on the field, but even the bunker, his directive is, fuck, I've seen contact to the head, I have to give it. If they didn't have that directive, they wouldn't. Both of the bunker and him wouldn't have made that call. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not their fault. I don't believe it's the ref's fault. Now, in saying that, some of the bunker calls, like the obstruction one against the Knights, that was outrageous. Like, that was an outrageously bad call. But the other ones with the head highs, the professional fouls, I personally think that it's the directives above that are making it harder and harder for refs. Because not only do the directives above went, not only are we going to take a ref away from you, so now there's only one ref, we're going to add in, we're going to change the game to 6 against. We're going to add in, if any contact to the head, they've got to go. We're going to add in professional fouls at 10 in the bin. You know, we just added all this stuff and took a ref away. I think the refs are being put in a position that it's a tough position, put it that way.
Yeah, it's tough, but we were robbed. It's as simple as that.
Okay, that's fair.
That's all we're saying.
Despite everything you've just said.
Despite everything you've said.
We were robbed.
We were robbed.
What is frustrating, though, is like, even if you said you weren't robbed, the Eels were robbed of a clean victory. Like even if you say you aren't robbed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't say
so
that
like
we were, but I hear you.
We're talking about a game that was actually a fantastic game, and Manly played outstanding, and so they were robbed of an equal opportunity to, you know. And
it was a ripper game.
It was a ripper game. And look,
it was a ripper game.
If someone's going to sit there and be like, mate, it was contact to the head, they've been doing that for the last few weeks or months or whatever. Look, I see where you're coming from. I totally get it. I just think that, like, refs have used their discretion in the past. We saw it 2 tackles later.
There really should be a push for that sort of for discretion, though. Like, and if you slip into a fucking tackle, that should be considered
unless
as
it's a swinging arm
factor.
If you slip and I swing and arm you, I think that is
because I shouldn't have been swinging my arm.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. But if you've got down low to iron. Right, and you've got the setting on linen, dude.
Yeah.
Like hot as fuck. I'm going to iron you out.
Yeah.
And you get pinned for that because some bloke doesn't have long enough studs on. That's not your fault.
Yeah, not your fault. Not your fault.
Not your fault.
Anyway, hopefully Manly can bounce back. But I do feel for the refs, man. They got the fucking worst job ever. And the ironic thing about refs is they love the game probably more than anyone. Think about how much you got to love the game to be a ref.
That's a good point. It is a good point.
Like, you have to
John Ingo
love
used
the
to
game.
be a union ref. Put it that way. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah,
like, it makes sense.
And so you're getting pizzled by everyone, and you're like, I love this game more than all of you. I'm like, I grew up being a ref, getting paid nothing, just part of the community, helping out local league. You know what I'm saying? Then they become a ref, and some people say the pay is good. The pay, they probably don't get remunerated, paid enough for how much negative. I was going to remunerated. Yep. Remunerated. Enough for how much negative press they get. And also, they only got a shelf life. They can't ref forever. So anyway, I think refs have it tough. That doesn't excuse bad performance.
I think he's probably just being generous because of the obstruction call during the Broncos game that was not good.
No, I think that was a shocking call. That was crazy to me. I can't believe they let that go. Anyway, we went to Cobbo, went from potential star to genuine superstar against the Knights. We've already spoken about Throbo. Cowboys discover a missing piece. Are Cowboys the real deal? And is the Chad being underrated and underappreciated?
Listen, we said this a couple of weeks ago. We don't apologise and we will continue not to. But Chad Townsend, if we were to apologise in an alternate universe...
Dude, we were on Chad all year, dude. We've been fucking... No one pounded Chad like us in the off-season. We're like, this kid can play.
This kid can play.
He is special, mate.
Best signing
I've seen in a decade. Better than Reynolds to the fucking Broncos.
Yeah.
We said that. Go back and check the tape. It's all there. That's the beauty of recordings.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys are the real deal, mate. I've been saying for a couple of weeks they're full cream milk.
But you losers didn't get on them on the weekend. Last week, I said cows to win.
But I put my hand up. I put my hand up and I made a formal
And I told
apology.
you this would happen to you too. I said, because you've got off on... Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with that. I made a mistake. But I have been there since the start.
No, you're not. You aren't. You're off them. You haven't been there since the start.
If you had been there from the start,
I had been there from the start.
You wouldn't be this triggered.
No, I had been there from the start.
If it was, like, put it this way, if someone says...
I was there.
Like, if someone says something that... about
No,
me.
you came in late, dude.
No,
you
I
came in
didn't.
real
Yes,
late.
you
You came in so late,
I was
dude.
there from
That's
the
why you're so
start.
triggered. You wouldn't get so
came in, like,
defensive.
No, I'm
halfway-
triggered because I
you
feel
can
like
tell
I'm
when
just
he's
being
lying 'cause he gets
disrespected.
angry.
No
Yeah.
one fucking, no one respects
if you-
my rugby league nous. You know,
He came in like 2 weeks ago and then picked the game last week.
incorrect.
If you had nothing to hide, you would just be like,
That was
boys,
their hardest
I know
test
the
of the
truth.
season, and I backed them for it, and they fucking showed me. And you know what? I'm on them again this week. Panthers going down.
Oh, wow. I feel like he's compensating now.
No, just fucking belief, dude.
Possibly.
Just belief in,
Possibly.
in bloody, what's his name?
Thoughts on
Tom
the
Pate.
Hargreaves Fisher
What's
hit
his name?
for 8-point try?
Hey?
Did you see the 8-point try, Roosters Panthers?
I saw him get sent
Yeah,
off.
I saw everything
That
but
was
the
for
hit.
dissent, not for the hit.
Yeah, I didn't see the hit.
It was just a
Because
swing and forearm.
he try fucking calming down a fired up Jared Hargreaves.
he
Dude.
never looked
He
bigger.
was boiling at the fucking
And he had his big
seams,
chest
bro.
on his-
Huge chest. You
He's
know,
like,
like
"Ooh, I thought he was
WWF?
about to keep going. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're going to get sent off.
And
dude.
also the NRL would come out super hard on that shit.
WWF, they always get referees that are really small, and it just looked like that on the
He's
weekend.
got a
It's
bit of, like,
he's
wresler in him.
Fucking humongous.
Imagine
He's
him
got a bit of
arcing up
wrestler
at
in
you.
him.
Fuck.
What are his dimensions?
Thick.
I'd want to know the chest size
Yeah,
as well. Do
he's-
they get that?
Yeah, get the barrel out. What is he?
What is he? No, take your time, buddy.
But anyway, it was basically Fisher Harris diving to score a try. Hargreaves comes in to hit him hard, swinging arm, but he did miss, but you could tell he was trying to hit the ball hard.
But swing an arm, though.
But he did swing an arm, hit in the face. I think it was an 8-point try, in my opinion.
If you're doing a swing an arm, it is what it is.
Yeah,
what it is.
swing that arm at your own peril.
Yep.
Roosters, are Roosters in a mini rebuild? Yes or no?
Dude, if I listen to Cooper Cronk, they are. But like,
You can't lose all those players and not be in a mini rebuild unless you're the Storm.
I don't think that gets enough appreciation with the players they lost.
but I think that mate, they lost so much experience.
Cronk, Cordner, Friend, Orbison, both Morris brothers.
Fucking ridiculous.
Like it's half your fucking starting side nearly.
I see signs though, mate. Like I see signs of like, fuck, are they like on the up here? And then
I think they just
sort of
need to consolidate.
maybe 2 steps
They're not
forward,
gonna
1
be
step
doing
back.
It this year. They're not going to be doing it this year.
I thought they were going to win the comp this year, or at least
Yeah.
be in the grand final.
Nah, they're not doing that.
I think.
I think they're a top 4 side though by the end of the season.
Well, what's crazy is like as of last week, they were in the top 4, which is
by
incredible.
the end of the season, I think they'll be in the top 4.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe they'll go on a bit of a run at the end of the season. I think Teddy's form will just come
after
out of nowhere.
Origin, just
it's mainly
But I
about
don't think they'll
Kieran
win it.
Walker's like gelling though, isn't it?
I think we just haven't appreciated like Cooper Cronk. They went back to back, and since then they've had other people to be their 7. Kiri has come back from an ACL injury, and also he hasn't played that much 7 at or NRL level.
no.
What do you got there?
I was going to say Hargreaves is 6'3" and 108 kilos.
Ooh, it's a big boy.
We want
Not as
chest
big as I
dimensions.
thought.
Yeah, I googled it, but
Not as big as I
couldn't
thought.
find it.
Well, it's probably off the scale. It
Reach out. Reach
can't
out.
be
Well,
recorded.
they got the tape and they went, oh, it's like when your belt doesn't fit. They got the
Just
tape.
go,
oh,
it doesn't
can't
fit.
It doesn't
Reach
fit.
out,
Sorry.
Roosters.
Yeah, beyond the tape. Yeah.
Staff. Leave a comment if you work for the Roosters about the size of his chest, please.
Thank you.
Now, was it one of the great comebacks from Milf? Now, I know second half they got beaten substantially, but first half,
He looked all right.
Milf looked great.
Yeah, I was happy to see him back.
He looked all right. Yeah.
Milf's
looked
back in a
alright.
big way.
Milf's back in a big way. No, I wouldn't say off the back of that.
Milf's
have never left. I would've thought.
Milf's is still a
They've
thing.
never
Milf's is still a thing.
Yeah.
Milfs are a staple of society.
I'd say so, yeah.
Milfs have been a staple of society since society was society. So, I know, I'm not concerned about Milfs.
MILF stock's as high as
Milf
ever.
stock is, dude, it's like gold, bro. You just buy it and hold it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Milford was pretty good. He was okay.
Think about how
Probably better than I expected him to be.
Yeah.
he was better than I thought he'd be. Show flashes of brilliance, but he looked fit. He looked energized. He looked as dangerous as he's always looked. Good footwork. I think the Knights should try to sign him. I really do.
I thought he was going to the Fish.
There hasn't been no contract.
fished
been
up?
signed.
I thought he
Not
was
fished up.
all the yarn was he's heading to the Fish next year.
That was the yarn though. But
He'd do well under Bennett.
I think personally,
Again.
if I'm the Knights, I'm doing what I can to keep him.
Well, they made a GF when he was there last time.
That's true. The MILF with Wayne.
And you basically blew it. One of the great bed shits in the history
The greatest,
of
the
rugby
greatest
league.
individual bed shit in the history
Since
of rugby league.
1908, there's been no greater bed shit.
You guys shit the bed in the second half against the Roosters.
No, we were
That
robbed.
wasn't
dude.
no, that was a forward pass.
And
You
a bunch of other shit.
literally had the game won and the hooter had gone.
Yeah, the Hooter had gone.
The hooter had rung out.
You were ahead, and you got tailed up.
It
in the
was
second half.
0-0.
You were ahead and the hooter went.
Sonny
Yeah,
Bill. Sonny
the
Bill.
Hooter went.
The hooter went and you were up.
Okay.
And shock horror, winger jams in. Wow. Shock horror.
Have you ever thought about the fact that we're
Sure.
both Queensland teams? We love JT as much as the next bloke, and we're
No,
like,
you don't.
we want
Oh,
JT to have his fairy
That is the
tale.
biggest crock
Whereas
of
you got
shit.
bent
You
over.
rolled over there.
SBW.
You said you lost on purpose?
SBW was just like...
That's what he just said.
You lost on purpose.
That's what he just said.
You're a
Look,
disgrace.
can't confirm or deny. We
That's
just love
embarrassing.
JT. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
embarrassing.
Disgraceful.
We want JT to have his moment because
That's
we're Queenslanders. Being a Queenslander is above
Mate,
everything
So
else.
would you prefer to win Origin than the grand final?
I thought you playing the Cowboys was one of the great rivalries. Now I'm hearing that like
but
you want to
it's
suck each
respect.
other off.
Yeah.
It's out of respect. You don't suck blokes off that you respect.
Clip that. Clip that.
What, I'm the widow?
Yeah, I'm the fucking freak.
Jesus. It's about showing your mates love.
Yeah, no, I
Fucking hell.
get it, dude. Yeah, sure. Well, I'm disappointed I haven't been sucked yet then, man. What the hell's going on?
You haven't been worked over yet, buddy.
No, not once.
Now, obviously the doggies lost a coach. Potter's come in. Shane Flanagan has put his name up. He's reportedly called the Bulldogs and said he's interested in becoming their coach next year. He's also made a few public statements saying that he's keen, the things he would do to build the culture. Do you think Flanagan's the man for the job?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't believe they weren't calling him.
Yeah, and why
Why
they
the
wouldn't just
fuck
bring
has
him
he
in
gotta
this
call
year?
them?
Just bring him in now. Why
Get
the
him
fuck
in.
Do you need Mick Potter fucking in there?
I don't know why you fucking need Mick there. We talked about this the other day. Host Sport Podcast, Monday afternoons.
Like, subscribe, 5 stars.
Also,
Like-
we're in every celebrations, Bottle-O, Porter's Liquor, and IGA Liquor Plus in ACT New South Wales.
Dior hoodies still on sale. How's
The Aussie hoodies are still on sale.
Still on sale, baby.
Make sure to grab
Hats
it.
all gone.
Hats all gone. Went like hotcakes. Jumpers going like hotcakes as well, but there's some left. Now, Flanagan. Flanagan. Why wouldn't you bring a bloke like Flanagan in who's built a side in the past, get in, run a fucking eye over things and go, dead weight there, cutting it, dead weight there, cutting it, dead weight there, cutting it. This is what we need to be successful instead of like coming in after Mix. God knows what Mix does with it.
God knows what Mick's going to do
God
with
knows.
the joint.
Who
Hang
knows?
a picture here, fucking change the piping
Exactly.
there. Like, you know, if
You got to go in. You got to repaint. You got to redo the carpet.
Do
you
the
got to
renos all over
You got to
again.
clean the fucker. I reckon you get him in now. What am I missing
Give him
about
6
Shane
months to work
Flanagan
out
not
what's
having a
working, what's
fucking
not.
club to coach? What am I missing? Am I missing something? How is he not there already? I don't get it. Who's better than Shane?
I think like what we know with Shane is he is a ruthless winner. Like at the Sharks, he was willing to do anything to get the win. And so I think like Bulldogs, I can't imagine Shane Flanagan being the coach of the Bulldogs and them not being at least a top 8 side or challenging for a top 8. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I think Flanagan... Now, I think the father-son thing is... They would be talking about that internally. Is it extra pressure?
I heard someone talking about this, though. Brad Arthur had no trouble picking and dropping his son. Fucking Kevy Walters had no problems picking and dropping his son. Shane gave fucking Kyle his debut at the Sharks, picked and dropped his son. It's the sport.
I agree. I think it's more the external pressure that it brings. It's that added extra noise. Like, for example, when Brad Arthur picked his son, the noise around that was absolutely wild to the point where like it was publicly spoken about from the
It was a
club.
particularly shit.
But Shane
decision
Shouldn't
from
have
Brad.
been, if that was a normal kid, that wouldn't have been spoken about. And I think that's what they're talking about.
Shane's an alpha, though, dude.
Oh, he's a big dog.
You know what I mean? Like big dogs, you don't really go near them as much. I reckon.
I just think the
I
Bulldogs...
reckon he can sort of just roll in there and fucking flop it out and go, "Listen here, cunts. This is how we're doing it." Don't you reckon?
Yeah, but he's also got it. He flops his hog down, and then his hog notices there's another hog on the table, and it's Phil Gould's.
That's
trusty.
actually an interesting point. How do him and Phil Gould get on?
Well, do they have to have
'cause
their
you need-
hogs? Do their hogs need to like sniff each other like dogs do in a park?
I think so.
Sniff each other out and just sort of make sure that they're cool with each other.
The songs,
The hogs have to sniff. basically.
100%,
Yeah.
dude.
And then,
100%.
but you also like that has to be a let them get to know each other on own terms. You don't want Phil.
You need them on leaches.
They need a play day.
Just
They need a play day.
Leashes, bring them into like
Leashes,
an open space.
Yeah,
But I hear, Eddie, and this is true of dogs and hogs, that if you have them on a leash, when they're sniffing each other, they're more prone to like nip. You don't want a hog nipping a hog.
No,
you have them off leash, dude.
No,
so that they're on their own terms.
You get them in and you just sort of walk past.
Yeah.
Walk past. Let them smell
Off
each
leash,
other.
dude, I'm telling you.
And then you introduce off leash. Mate, because dude, you're talking about two big, proud hogs, bro.
Yeah,
They
I
could
know.
rip each other limb
They
from
could
limb,
growl
bro.
up like.
I would be very, very, very hesitant to throw a couple of wild hogs into the pen together, dude,
Off
without
leash.
knowing each other first.
No, they've got to sniff. You got to sniff. Got to sniff each other out.
Okay, so before even meeting, get to a park, get your hogs sniffing each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mark your territory, get it out of the way.
Yep.
And then forward from there.
Yeah,
From there.
and
Well,
then from
only after that can you really work
That's
out
right.
whether they can.
I will
operate.
say that Phil Gould and Wayne had always kind of had issues. Phil Gould was willing to squash those issues to get him to Penrith. They had a handshake deal that Wayne was coming to Penrith. So I think Phil Gould, he's just about winning. So I think that he'd have no issue with Shane's hog.
But I think, it's all well and good to say that, right? But the reality is, based on what I've seen Phil do to coaches when he's gone to certain clubs, is that I think that having a strong relationship or a relationship with Phil would be better than fucking nothing.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
you have to,
For sure.
if you're meeting
Because
Phil,
he comes across as a pretty ruthless motherfucker.
I think you need to go in with a hog that's going to scare his hog, or at least demand some respect from Phil's
So
hog.
you don't reckon Shane's hog should roll over?
No. And show its belly?
Be like, look, I'm a big hog.
No.
That's
Don't belly up,
Think about the coaches that Phil Gould's hog has ingested. It's Ivan, pre-premiership, Hook, and
Fourth place.
and Trent. Those hogs have rolled over and shown their belly, I would almost guarantee.
Well, Hooks didn't, and he got kicked.
Well, it might have been fucking...
No, well, Hook didn't roll over. Refused to got eaten anyway.
Yeah, well, that's it. He got bloody... Phil's hog got
I think
lockjaw on him.
we can all agree Trent rolled
So
over.
I think now, though, let's say if Ivan and Phil were back in the same room, now those two hogs meet, and that's a meeting of minds, and they have to sniff each other out. Shane has won a comp. These two hogs now need to sniff each other out. There's respect there.
Yeah, okay.
I think you need to have a hog that's going to be able to command respect from Phil.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think that's pretty obvious.
You need a hog that's not going to roll over, show its belly.
Okay.
That's what we're getting at.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And you are
Happy to
the
help.
hog experts, so you would know.
We are hog
Yeah,
experts.
we are.
Yep.
Yep.
We've handled many hogs.
Yeah, look, I just think that the club's in a position now where they need a ruthless winner that's willing to just go whatever it takes to get us back on track. And I do think Flanagan could be that guy. He's itching to get back in the coaching role. He's got a proven track record of taking a club that is struggling into win a premiership. Why not?
Why not, baby?
Why not? He would be able to attract players. He has, he knows all older ex-players that can speak to you. You know what I mean? He has, people around the game that he would be mates with. That helps getting recruitment. He would know managers. He's done the dance, all that kind of stuff. I think Flano would be probably him or Paul Green are really the front runners.
No, Flanagan.
You
Then
mean
you've got
former
Dimmick.
former Queensland coach Paul Green?
You got Dimmick as well.
Jim Dimmick.
Yeah, he's name is there or thereabouts.
Didn't
he coach him in the past?
Yeah, when they got rid of Dean, I
Yeah, I
think
think
maybe.
2011. Oh no, it's
He was.
I thought he filled in,
he was a
after
fill-in.
Des.
He wasn't he an
He was an
assistant
interim.
coach
Yeah,
in
yeah,
interim?
after Des. After Des, maybe.
2012 or some shit like
Jim
that.
Dimmick. Did he play for the Dogs?
Yes.
Isn't he like a club?
I think he's a club legend,
Yeah, yeah.
which helps.
Yeah, and that's what some angles are saying. Is we need to just get a club legend in there so they know what it is to play for the Broncos.
Yeah, but that hog, Jimmy Dimmick, despite the fact that he played really well for the club, that hog is going to roll over and show its belly.
I think most hogs would show its belly.
Right, so that's it. And that's the problem. You need to find one that won't.
But yeah, I think Flanagan would be a good choice for the club for sure.
Sorry, Dimmick only played 2 seasons for the Dogs, but he won a comp with them.
What?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Did you play for the Eels?
Who was the old coach, the legend, Dubbo boy?
Dean Pay.
Dean Pay.
Poor old Dean. I mean,
Dubbo
fuck,
Dean.
he was a legend of the
He got
club.
unfairly done.
Well, what I'm saying is shit. They say you got to be a club legend to have success. It's poor old Deanie Pay wasn't fucking treated that way, was he?
He got treated.
Was he a
poorly.
club? Did he play for him?
Yes.
Yeah, Dean Pay was club
He's a
legend.
club
He played
legend,
Origin.
mate, 100%.
Played Origin. He played
And
for
Brad
the-
Dubbo boy, who got fucking
Jim Dimmick was
shafted.
mostly para.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, so he's more of a para legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
You
coached.
can't bring that in.
He coached in
Yeah,
2011.
right. Why did I think Jim Dimmick was a fucking...
I thought it too, though. And I think it might have just been a headline I saw of ex-players. So I was wrong as well.
Anyway,
I was right.
Shane Flanagan, got to be the man. Got to be.
Now, on to other news. Bird re-signs with Dragons.
Love it.
Love it.
Herbie re-signs with Broncos.
Love
it.
Reports that the Knights are after Hetherington.
Don't hate it.
Brings a bit of mongrel.
He's got a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
mongrel
what I
in.
like about it,
He's
dude.
got a lot of yellow
He's
cards in him.
chocker full of mongrel, that cunt.
So it's exploding with mongrel,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bloke.
That's what the Knights need.
Yeah. In saying that, they got Barnett, who was
And
also
Clemmer.
exploding with
Yeah.
mongrel.
Yeah, I know,
And
but
Clemmer.
it can never be enough, really. Not with the way they're going.
Reports Dufty will sign with the Warrington Wolves.
I
mean,
think Dufty's ready for a stint in the
he
Super
will
League.
kill it over there. He will absolutely just tear that comp apart.
Yeah, man.
Seriously.
Man of Steel's
Now,
broken.
let's get into games.
Sorry, correction. He played 3 seasons for Dogs, but still not that
Okay.
many.
Okay, great Jim Dimmick.
Storm versus Manly. Hughes returns to forward to play his first game since 2020. Garrick to fullback. What do you think, boys?
They said Hughes was going to return last week and he didn't, so I'm just going to pick that he's going to be out again. That's my tip. That's my mail I'm getting. Now,
I like
someone
that
did
mail.
say that to me yesterday. I don't know who it was. It surely wasn't someone to trust. But
Manly are paying $5.
dude, Manly
Dude,
paying $19 for 13 plus.
Wow.
$19.
Wow.
Manly will win this one. They will win well. To fullback will score because it's going to be Garrick, then it's going to be Schuster, and then it's going to be Schuster not looking at anything and just throwing a 6-man cutout ball to Georgie Tafu, who's going to score.
Okay.
And it'll be 13 plus. It's it's set and forget. Thanks for coming.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Set forget.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Storm win, unfortunately, boys.
I think you're incorrect.
Live stream, Hello Sport, YouTube, tomorrow.
Night.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Hello Sport YouTube. Subscribe.
Storm v
Oh,
Manly.
also, Bloke has TikTok now. Bloke has TikTok.
There you go.
On. If you have TikTok, go and follow us on TikTok. No,
So
you
do
won't.
we.
Hello Sport also have TikTok. You won't be seeing any dancing or any of that kind of carry on. It'll be just basically news and football chat and banter, all that kind of stuff.
Leave a comment, though, on every post that he puts up saying, where's the dancing?
Yeah.
You can do that if you want. You can do that if you want.
Are you going to show a bit of skin on there?
I might get something out for the guys
Yeah.
and girls. Sure.
Shirtless stuff?
Yeah.
Bit of butt stuff?
Get a bit fit.
Bit of butt stuff, dude?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think we'll get banned, but I want to always go by the.
Oh, you can't put butt stuff on Twitter?
I don't think not on TikTok.
Not from what
TikTok,
I've seen, dude.
Twitter, I think you can put bus stuff.
You can put butt stuff on TikTok. Twitter. Fuck, I'm all over the place. I'm all over the map.
But yeah, so Bloke and a Bar is on TikTok. It'll be content made just for TikTok. You know, for example, we had me talking about the team of the week yesterday. We'll have videos like why certain players should get selected for New South Wales and Queensland. We'll have me reviewing a news story for the day. So plenty of unique TikTok content. Make sure to go and follow. Also, like and subscribe this video. Like and subscribe. It helps in the YouTube algorithm, gets the channel out there. Or even leave a review on the podcast. Leave a positive review on the podcast. That also helps.
That'd be nice.
Now, Panthers versus Cowboys. Where do we see you, boys?
Cows.
Felton Tomalolo out.
Big outs.
I actually, for about even, have gone Cows 13 plus. That's aggressive.
Cows 13 plus.
Yep.
I quite like Cowboys with the start, which is 14.5 points, which seems like a lot to me. But
Listen, it'll be the real like.
this is the test, dude. It's in fucking
Yeah.
Penrith. You got Felton and Tamalolo out.
As much as I'm
Big
backing
outs,
the
bro.
Cows, I do feel like it's probably just an opportunity for the Panthers to stamp the like. It's still just a 2-horse race or 3-horse race.
Well,
sort of a-
what's crazy is on Panthers' Instagram, they put up like a little snippet of like different people saying Cowboys are the real deal. Like, you know, Cowboys are going to take it to Penrith. Like they put that snippet up and saying like, basically, we're ready. Let's fucking go.
Panthers did.
Yeah.
Dude, I like that.
That's what I mean. I like that swagger. Get that chat
I
out
like
there.
that shit talking.
No, now I've heard that, dude. I'm like, holy shit.
You know what? We'll watch it. We'll watch
They
it
go out
here.
there and
get it
fucking
up.
hump,
Because
bro.
I love
Because they
that.
could get out there and hump. There's every chance they
could.
get out there and hump and hump well.
And hump when true.
Yeah. Hump well, hump
What have we
true.
got
There
here?
it is. It the second one?
Yes.
Cowboys are a genuine premiership threat.
The Cowboys are playing some great footy. 36-6 the scoreline. Unbelievable over Melbourne Storm. Boys have got it on the string at the moment. This is going to come this week. Next weekend they play Penrith at Penrith.
The defence is too good. They can't find a way through the Cowboys. Wide left foot step. Edwards.
This is good stuff.
Great
Good
stuff.
stuff, dude.
This is great stuff.
I like this. Who is the social media team?
Yeah.
Put up
This is
something
good,
mad as
bro.
well the other day as well.
This is good stuff.
They did like the Rogan cam where like as they're scoring they had the bench cam watching the bench.
What an entertainer.
Dude, this is like intimidating confidence.
I know, that's what I mean.
His next job.
Yeah,
I'm
next
like,
job.
oh,
With a
fuck yeah.
cowboy hat and an explosion.
Dude, this is an intimidating level of confidence from Penrith. I
and
love it.
like the first
You know what?
Yeah.
I just bought in, dude.
Yeah.
I just bought a ticket, dude.
I know what
Holy
I've done and about
shit.
even. I'm reversing it here, and Penrith are going to win 13
That's
plus.
big cock energy.
I reckon, dude. I reckon they're gonna hum.
All off that video.
Yeah, seriously. Because if that's filtered from the team all the
That's
way to
what
like
I mean.
social media, bro, like that's
That's
what
just
they're
the
feeling out there,
mentality.
bro.
That's the
Like,
mentality
we fucking
they've
do
got.
it. We do it.
100%.
Whoever's doing that social media, I hope they're fucking paying you. That was good.
And they put
I
up a
enjoyed
great
that.
one the other day where Crichton made that intercept and they had like a bench cam watching Fisher Harris and that, like, get up for the boys. Great content. That to me gets me fired up.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that
horny.
shit.
That's
Like,
horny.
because I love how
That's
they're
hot and horny, dude.
Because they're like, look, we're aware. Cowboys, the new kid on the block, getting a bit of raps. We're the fucking big dogs. You want to have a crack at the big dogs? This is what's going to happen.
That
I
would
love
intimidate
shit.
me as well if I'm a Cowboys
I'd be like,
player.
oh,
I'm like,
shit.
oh, they're just going to.
And also, they played clips of the Cowboys playing Panthers and Vossi going, they can't find a way through the Panthers.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Selective.
I love
The
that
music
banter.
was cool.
Yeah.
it was edited well.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Great stuff,
Well
Panthers.
done.
So, look, I'm going Panthers,
Panthers.
after seeing that.
Yeah,
Panthers
that's
get the
changed my
win.
mind.
100%.
But I will say, if Cowboys can get within 12 to 16 points without Tamalolo and Felt, I think that's a win for them. Like 12 to 16 points with the premiers, the reigning premiers.
Score
I
a
think
few
that's good.
points.
Yeah.
Their defense has been solid, the Cows. Let's see how they go.
Broncos versus Titans. Reynolds still out. Kelly in for Sammy in the Titans. How do you see this one playing out, boys?
Bronchies. I'm a
I
Bronchies.
think the Bronx get the chockies here. Titans just so underwhelming for mine this year.
I just think that it is one that I think if you guys really have turned a corner of like a team you can trust to a degree, then I think you just need to comfortably go and beat them.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those ones where it's like if you lose to them, it's like, okay, that's
Yeah,
still a
yeah.
bit of like echoes of Broncos sort of beaterish behaviour. But I hope you go out there and just pump them. Like I like the Broncos.
What I love is like this young forward pack. They went through the ringer the last 2 years. Like everyone's spraying them, everyone talking shit. They didn't go out and recruit all a bunch of forwards and change our forward pack. This is the same forward pack the last 2 years, and I'm just fucking stoked for them that they get to say, "Hey, fuck you, motherfuckers.
we've improved.
We've
We've
improved.
got better, and
we're
this is
young
it."
as shit." And no one gave us any credit by the fact that we were young as shit the last 2 years. Everyone piled on us, and now we're fucking ripping and a tearing.
If you keep going the way you're going, Kevy will just have these runs up going.
Oh,
Fuck the lot of
mate.
you
Yeah,
cunts.
I love that on a grand
And Gordy
final
Tallis
parade.
as well. He
Oh.
backed him to the hill.
Yeah.
Origin
That'd be-
team picked for Queensland in a few days, and this is Tino versus Carrigan. 13 versus 13.
Ooh, I like Tino and front row though. I reckon.
Yeah.
I see what you mean though. I think Tino's a front rower though. I actually don't like him playing. I mean, I liked him playing 13 at the Titans when he just has to go through too much work though. Like he's constantly covering in tackles, and I want Tino being that big throbber on the edge, just bashing blokes. The amount of impact that he had for the Storm when they won that premiership was crazy off the bench. And so I just think that him getting through all that work takes away from his crazy attacking ability. I like Tino in the front row, so you can just get him in there, get him on 20 minutes, goes hard, give him a rest, get him back on. Whereas Carrigan, he's probably not as like explosive, like line runner as Tino, but he's maybe a little bit better ball player, and he likes getting through a lot of that work. So great matchup though. Fuck, it's so good to see Tino and Carrigan like. Talk
Going
about
well.
young throbbers.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Queensland's future is bright.
How old's Carrigan?
I think it's 23. They're young as shit. Put it this way.
Dude.
Without Catewell,
really old, bro.
without Catewell, their most experienced forward has 60 games or something, 65. And it's Haas. Haas is their most experienced forward outside Catewell.
Sheesh.
Wow.
24. He turned 24.
24.
January.
Incredible.
God, what a good age.
What's crazy? Tino
age, bro.
Tino is
Great age.
21.
Is he?
He's 21.
Mate.
That's what I mean. Tino is a
I thought he
motherfucker.
was 23.
21. And how old's Payne?
Payne is like 21 as well. They're both, I'm pretty the same age. They used to play each other.
Fucking hell.
Tino,
That's
that's
just disgraceful.
That's what people don't realize. Like Tino's ceiling is crazy. He doesn't even have his man strength.
Tino just turned 22.
Just turned 22. So like that's super young. Captain in a club and playing the way he's playing. Like
That is fucking young.
yeah.
That's young.
Wow.
22 years old
That's
and
young,
he just
dude.
turned it.
It's young.
Yeah, and
100%.
Payne's 2 months older than him.
Wow.
Couple of 22-year-old barks.
Fucking
Just
hell.
out there
Guns.
doing the damn
It's just
thing.
a different breed. Like I can't. Maybe you get caught up in the now, but have we seen like two throbbers that young killing it the way they kill it? Like far out through the middle
I
there.
think so.
We do get caught up in the now, but
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
That's what the now's for, bruh.
You want to get caught up in the now. You
Dude,
live in the
live
present.
in the present.
Yeah, live in the
Don't live
present.
in the past. Don't live in the future. Just live in the
100%.
present right now.
Yeah.
You know what we're doing right
And
now?
right
We're
now-
on a podcast with each other. Just
And
really
Manly
good
are
mates.
outside the 8.
And Manly are
In the 8,
actually
basically.
in a 6-day mourning period, and would appreciate if you just don't fucking pile on. Tomorrow, say everything you want.
The
Manly
morning ends at 7:45 tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, tomorrow morning. As soon as the
Okay.
clock ticks over.
But you aren't in the 8 though. correct?
Not. We
Depends how you look
basically
at
we
it.
pretty much
It
are.
depends how you look at
We
it.
pretty much
right
are.
now, you're not playing finals footy.
Well, technically, what do you mean right now? No one's playing finals
but
footy.
no one's playing finals
So
footy.
right now, you're not playing
Yeah.
finals footy either.
Where's Broncos sitting 5th?
Well, you're not
No,
playing
but they're not
finals
playing
footy.
finals footy because
Right
it's
now.
not the end of the season. So
It would be a silly thing.
Do you guys think you'll play finals footy this year?
Yeah.
Oh, you winning the comp today, dude? Like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
Nah. So that works. We're pretty much basically in the 8. Yep.
I think Broncos get the win here. In saying that, I do believe, like, if they play the way they played last week, where they just kept inviting Newcastle Knights back in, Titans have the ability to punish them for that. So they need to keep the errors coming out of their end need to be fixed. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, long night. Warriors versus Knights.
What a game.
I think I like the Knights.
I think I do too, but I don't know. I don't know.
I just think the Knights, they look at a game like this and go, we got to get this W here against the
Mate,
Warriors.
if the Knights don't win this game,
like,
they could
I
genuinely.
think the Knights win. I think the Knights win.
I'm backing the Knights in.
I am.
Yeah.
I'd prefer they lose, but I am backing them.
I thought for 60 minutes they were really good last week. Really good. So
I want
I'm going
Ponga to
Knights.
score 2 tries. That'd be nice for me.
Okay. Clifford also returns, which is great news for Clifford. Rabbitohs, Tigers.
I tell you what, Denon. I tell you what, punters and dribblers out there. Eddie, Matty, the waterboy down the back. Fuck South.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. I'm on Tigers 13 plus this week.
Fuck South.
13 plus.
Yep. The Rabbitohs stink. And I think they're cursed because they got rid of Reynolds.
Yeah.
And I think we'll call this the Reynolds curse. In 100 years'
100
time,
year curse.
they'll call it the Reynolds
Curse
curse.
of the Bambino.
100%.
out.
They haven't
Reynolds
played
curse.
since they got towed up by the Bronx, by Reynolds. They look shell shocked.
Fuck
They look
them.
beside themselves. I think Dane Laurie's in, Brooks is in, Tigers 13 plus, baby.
They beat the Warriors and then let them. They had 30 points on the Warriors, let them back in, completely threw me. And then it's like up against the Raiders, who,
Got pumped.
and then the Raiders pump them. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this side. I'll never tip you again.
Tigers 13 plus.
So is Hastings named?
Yeah.
If Hastings doesn't play, I'm going Rabbitohs. If Hastings plays,
Well, he got an injury, does he?
man, yeah, well, he came off like limping last game. If Murray plays, I'm going Rabbitohs. If Murray plays, I'm going Rabbitohs. If not, Tigers for the upset.
Let's just save Murray for Origin, eh?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Now, next game, Sharkies, Roosters.
Dude, this one, like, I'm not like 100%
know.
either way on. I'm going to say the Sharks because of form, but I can see Roosters winning this game, if that makes sense.
I have no idea.
Well, it's $1.80 and $2. So
Yeah, it's a struck
tough
match
one.
between them.
I'm going Sharkies for the
I
win.
think I'm going the Sharks as well. Yeah. Kennedy back's good.
Kennedy back's massive. Hines hair wetter than ever. I think Sharkies get the W.
Your boy Miller got that try. You said that on the show last week.
That he would be a try
the
scorer. Yeah. Doggies, Dragons.
Drags, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dragons grind out that win.
Until they get Flanagan in there, bruh, it's going to be tough.
McCulloch also returns, which is a great turn. But Adakar returns. He's good for the Doggies. It is a winnable game for the Doggies, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the Dragons
DMC's fucked these games up as well, so they could very well lose.
Raiders versus the Eels.
Now, Denon, if this was the Eels v Penrith or Melbourne, I would be like, fucking the Eels. But because it's a shit side, and that's no disrespect to anyone from Canberra or a fan of Canberra, a side that's not that good, I think the Raiders have a real shot. But I also don't think they'll win.
I think the Raiders have...
I think the Raiders will win.
We're going to win.
Yep.
I think they've shown evidence that they may be turning the season around.
No.
I think so.
Fogarty returns is a huge in.
That's huge.
Huge in for them.
Croker returns.
Croker also returns. But
Sevo on extended reserves.
I do think the Eels get the job done here.
Yep.
I do think that. But I think Raiders are going to play a much better game than people give him credit for.
Watch Reed Marnie. I reckon he
So
might have a
good.
little try in him.
Wanga Blake on the edge, he probably will score. I think he's actually probably a better winger than centre. He comes back in. Look, I think it's going to be actually a cracking game, if I'm being honest. Raiders, they're going to build momentum off last week. Eels, although they won the game, I think deep down they know they got out of that with 2 points, luckily.
They lost it.
They lost it. Even though they won, they lost.
But anyway, Dior jumpers are on sale.
Yep.
Hellosport.com.au.
No.
Hellosport.shop.
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 Link in
Hellosport.shop.
IG bio.
Link in IG bio. Also, we are in every Celebrations Bodlo, IJ Liquor Plus and Porters Liquors in New South Wales, ACT, and every single Celebration Superstore in Queensland plus nationwide. Go to our site, put in your postcode. It'll show you all the different stockists. Origin Game 1, live show. What you just witnessed, but you can witness it live and also come up and say hi and meet us after the show. Plus an announcement coming soon that's huge for Bloke. As usual, we will go and fuck ourselves. Thank you.
Yup.